Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you all doing today? How you all doing today? TGI, thank God it's Friday, isn't it? Good evening, good evening, good evening. You guys are not answering me. Even if it's on the chat, you guys can send me your chats so I know you'll be meeting this evening. Good evening, Akim, Gideon. Who else is saying good evening? Tunde, Dennis. It's good evening to you guys. Good evening, good evening. We're going to be having a very great time today. We're going to be having an amazing time today, and you're going to be learning a lot. And one thing that really sets us apart from any other institution out there is the fact that we're always bringing the best materials for you guys to stay updated when it comes to analytics, when it comes to tech opportunities, so on and so forth. We're very glad, we are very happy. That's what we do best, and that's why we're here again today to discuss a very critical topic. Okay, and permit me to share my screen. I'm going to be sharing my screen in a second. All right. All right. So while I get up my screen up and running, yeah. I would like to know where you guys are joining from. So what region, what country are you in? I just want your country. Are you in Nigeria? Are you in Ghana? Are you in Sierra Leone? Are you in the UK? Are you in Canada? Where exactly are you joining this session this evening? So what location? What's your current location? Your current country location? Okay. All right. So let me see. Nigeria, India. I have someone from India. Interesting. That's good. Nairobi, Nigeria, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya. I have someone from Turkey. I have someone from Niger to the world. You get me? All right. Okay, so I have someone from Nigeria. I have someone from Johannesburg, South Africa. I have someone from Nigeria, Belgium, Ghana, UK, Birmingham, UK, from Nigeria, Billy from Nigeria. It's good to have you guys on board. I would like to know somewhere else. Manchester, someone from Manchester, iPhone from all right, Nigeria, UK, Ghana, somewhere different. I would like to see somewhere very like your location. If you put it in the box, like people will be surprised that someone is joining from this location. So I really want to know. So what other country exists currently that you would like to know where you're joining in from? So anybody from okay, Nigeria is okay. Still Nigeria. All right. Anyways, I would like to get to know you guys, and I want it to be a very interactive session because really, this is a very new, very, very new in the industry. When you're looking at this is something that is still in the process. It's actually not published to the general public just yet. So it's just for a handful of people, okay? Just an handful of people understand this topic, okay? So what we're going to be talking about today is Python, using Python inside of Excel. Using Python inside of Excel. Now, the first thing I want to know, like I said, we're going to be having a lot of interaction in class today, okay? And for you to get the best out of the session, I want you to interact with me also, because that's the way you get the best, feeling from the training session. All right. So what I want from you now is a very simple question. Prior to this year, what was your take on Excel? Is Excel overrated or is Excel underrated? Simple. Let me just, in one word, either Excel is underrated or overrated. Just use it. Okay. Underrated. Do you think Excel is still overrated or underrated? So that's it. Overrated, underrated. All right. Underrated. Excel is actually overrated. Okay. All right. Quite a number of people are saying underrated. Well, I'm very surprised. People are saying overrated. And I don't know if anybody can muzzle up the confidence just to anybody that says it is overrated. If you want to raise up your hand and tell us why Excel is overrated, just in 1 minute, ridiculous. Let's talk about this. Over underrated. Interesting. I like that, Abby. So does anybody that says Excel is overrated? I really want to understand where you're coming from. Okay. So I understand exactly your perspective. So if you want to muzzle up the confidence to just raise up your hand and speak, all right, I really appreciate that. If you think Excel is overrated, if you think Excel is overrated, okay, Steven, let me hear from Steven. Steven, your hype is too much. All right, Susan is all right. Steven, you can go ahead to unmute
Yeah,
yourself, please.
good evening. My name is Stephen Sunday from Nigeria. Glad to
Yes,
join you
Steven.
guys. So why I
Yeah.
say is underrated is that compared to what Python is giving you, right? It's very, very easy for you to do some kind of cleanup easily with just some lines of code. Whereas where you have Excel or whatsoever, where you have to follow this in line by line, but on Python, you can select one particular code and clean everything up. So that's why I say it's kind of underrated. You get
Okay.
right.
Underrated. Okay. Okay. Or it's overrated. Okay, Steven has gone on mute already. Okay, all right, I get the idea. So let me just be very plain and straightforward. This is a data analytics, data science masterclass, okay? And we're going to be talking about the topic using Excel in Python. So if you're joining us for the first time or you're just tuning in, this is what we're going to be discussing today. So now, from my own personal experience, Excel is absolutely underrated, especially for people that are not currently in the industry. All right. So if you're from outside looking on the inside, you feel Excel is a very basic tool. Everybody uses Excel. That's the perspective. That's what you think at the back of your mind. All right. And that's for people that maybe do a little bit of Excel. Maybe you've worked in a bank or you're a cashier, you're a registrar, and you use Excel for basic data entry and all that. You feel Excel is a very basic tool. Okay. So that's why people think it is overrated because I've used Excel before. Excel is not powerful, it's not this. But you see, to the extent that they've gone ahead to start to incorporate Python in Excel. That's to tell you that in the industry, when you look at the industry, Excel is still a very dominant tool. All right? Excel is still a dominant tool. Now, let me tell you for free. Majority of the people that have gone through analytics have landed their data science, data analytics roles, business analysis, and so on. One thing that stood out for them was what they did in the Excel assessment, Excel, Microsoft Excel assessment, right? And that's what really stood them apart from every other candidates that did the same interview. So Excel is not overrated. Excel is actually underrated, especially like I said, if you work in the industry, you'll know that a lot of people use Excel for basic reporting, any kind of reporting. They use Microsoft Excel. And you see, this is what led to the inclusion. Now, Python is being included into Microsoft Excel, and that's what we're going to be exploring today. How efficient is this particular operation? How efficient is Python in Excel? So all the analysis, all the things you do, all the you know exploratory data analysis that you do in Python that feels very scientific, you can now do it in Excel. And we're going to be exploring that today, like literally all those exploratory data analysis, univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis. You can now do it in Excel. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time. I was talking to my wife just a couple of months back, and I was like, if Excel can do all the things Power BI, Python can do, I really don't think anybody would go to use all those other tools. Everybody will sit down with Excel because Excel is sort of user friendly and easy to work around. And that's just my own perspective. Okay. All right. Other people might dispute. Other people might say no, they don't like Excel, they don't like the interface. But I feel if you know how to use Excel, if you can do all the powerful things Power BI can do, Python can do, Excel is going to be a massive tool in the data industry. All right. But anyways, we'll get to that when we finish our course today. I really want to understand your perspective after that session. Okay. So this is what we're going to be talking about today: using Python in Excel. Now, who is excited about this topic? I want you to drop a one in the chat. If you're excited, just put number one. Number one question. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if you're excited to see. All right, I love this. This is beautiful. I love it when those ones start rolling inside, like when you on tap, you've not on the tap for a very long time, and you on it, you see how the water gushes out. As how I love the ones coming in. So fantastic. I love that. Fantastic, fantastic. Absolutely love it. All right, let's jump into the session. Let's literally stand up from our chair and jump into the session. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing today. All right, let's get started. So about analytics, in as much as you're joining us for the first time or you're joining us before, this is not your first master class, this is your last master class, regardless, we need to tell you about analytics, what we stand for. All right, so that's just the beginning part of our masterclass sessions. Okay, so Analytics is an educational technology firm. Okay, and what we specialize in is tech training programs. Okay, so the whole idea for us is, or what gave birth to analytics is because of the gap that we currently have in Africa, or as Africans anywhere in the world. So you see you traveling outside the country and you feel like you're not good enough in order for you to get that, that tech role, okay? Or you're in Nigeria and you don't know how to transition into tech because you feel it is too technical, it is too hard, or whatever the case might be, whatever your skills is. I don't have a certification, I don't have a master's. So many limitations are there to impede Africans into transitioning into tech. Well, you see, that's why we designed analytics. That's why we started analytics to bridge that gap, to get more Africans into the tech space. And that's what we've been doing the past 3 years. And, of the numbers, we have trained well more than 50,000 people across the world. Now, just looking at the people joining the call, you can see we have people coming in from Brazil, we have people coming in from Jamaica, we have people coming in from Kenya, from Nigeria, from Ghana, Sierra Leone, Cameroon. So we've trained literally over the past 3 years, we've trained well over 50,000 people across the world. And we're still pushing more to get people to understand, tell people that you getting into tech doesn't have to be so difficult. It doesn't have, you don't have to break, you don't have to break your head, okay, and put books inside, for you to transition. So that's why we started analytics, to lower that, entry barrier, so that anybody, regardless of your platform, regardless of your background, regardless of your capacity, intellectual capacity, you can transition into tech. And that's what we do. All right. So we have quite a number of training programs, from data analytics to business analysis to data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, power platforms, and so on and so forth. All right. And that's what we do. That is literally our core value. Get more Africans into the tech space, regardless of anywhere you are. So you're in Jamaica, you're in Ghana, you are in anywhere in the world, really. We would work with you, train you, and get you into your desired tech role. Okay, so those are the things that we do. All right, so that's about analytics. So let's jump into the person speaking to you today. All right, so my name is Ifemena Ipro. All right, I am the co-founder of Analytics, and I have over a decade experience in the data ecosystem. So over my course of my experience, I've worked as a data scientist, I've worked as a data analyst, I've worked as a business intelligence analyst, I've worked as a global business systems analyst, I've worked in logistics, I've worked in supply chain, I've worked in healthcare, I've worked in medical technology, I've worked in gaming. So my experience spans, and I would say I've been lucky, or I've been very experimental with my experience. Okay, so I've worked across from startups to Fortune 500 organizations, across the world, and that's my experience. And really, that's the reason why, I and the good thing about my experience is I actually did not study anything computer science. Okay, so I did economics in degree, or for my bachelor's degree. And thereafter, I started working as a management consultant, which is not tech related. It was just HR consulting and management consulting, literally. All right. And, over the years, I started training, I started learning personal development. And, it was very difficult, in order for me to transition from management consulting into the tech space. And really, that's what led to all setting up Analytics. That's myself and Adeza, because of that difficulty of we moving from management consulting into our first data role. It was not very easy. Okay, so we said, okay, since it was a bit difficult for us, how could we make it more easy for other people? And that's why we set up Analytics to and hold you, guide you. There was no mentors when I was doing mine. There was nobody to handhold me. All right. There was nobody to say, oh, if you learn this, after you finish learning this, learn this, learn this, learn this, and package yourself, and this is how you can enter. Those opportunities were not there. And that's the reason why we set up Analytics, to and hold more Africans across the world and get them into the tech ecosystem. All right. I'll be sharing some very staggering statistics with you as we go on. Currently in India, as of last year, all right, we had 24, they had 25,000 tech roles that were filled. 25,000 tech roles that were filled. Now, guess what? Over 65% of those 25,000 jobs were filled by Indians. Indians. Currently, there's a squabble between India and Canada at the moment. Maybe that would lead to Nigeria's. Probably, I'm not saying we should. Well, anyways, if we place our advantage, that's not a bad thing. All right. But hopefully they get their issue resolved and all that. But looking at those 25,000 jobs in Canada last year, out of that 25,000 jobs, over 65% of those jobs went to India, in Canada. All right. Nigeria was the second on the list with just 7%. 7%. Where are other African countries? Just Nigeria has just got about 7% of the tech roles out of 25,000. And that 7% was just about 1,600 or thereabout. Okay, looking at the statistics. So you see, we want to get our Indians doing it. They're not, yes, they're smart, but it doesn't matter. We're actually very smart. All right. People know us to be smart in the other side. But anyways, we would package ourselves and see how we can get more Nigerians, more Africans into the tech space. And that's really why we started Analytics, to get more Africans into the tech space. All right. So what are we doing today? All right. What are we doing today? We're going to be doing 5 things, very simple 5 things. So just give me 2 hours of your time. So we'll be done with the session for today. 2 hours ridiculously. All right. So the first thing, we are going to see practically how Python is used in Excel, right? How Python is being used in Microsoft Excel. That's the first thing we're going to look at. And after that, we'll talk about how you can become a data analyst or a data scientist. Now, the whole essence of you becoming a data analyst or a data scientist is to get a job. So we are going to be discussing also job opportunities, remote job opportunities, relocation opportunities. Those are the things that we'll talk about. So it's not just you learning data, how to become a data analyst or how to become a data scientist. That's not the end of the world. The other part of it is, how do you secure a job? Either it is fully remote, either it's within your local environment, or either it is going to be a relocation opportunity. We are going to be talking about that today. Okay. The next part of it is, I personally have a special offer for you if you wait to the end of the session. So once you wait to the end of the session, I will tell you about the special offer. Then if you wait to the end of the session also, you get to hear about our growth internship program. Growth internship program. So these are the 5 things, like I said, would first of all go around talking about how to use Excel and how to use Python in Excel. Secondly, we'll talk about how to become a data analyst or a data scientist and securing a job. Thereafter, we'll talk about remote full-time opportunities for data analysts, data scientists, and also would explore relocation opportunities, in the tech space. Thereafter, like I said, I have a special offer for you. If you wait to the end of the session, you will get the recording. Okay. You will get to hear about the special offer and you get to know about our growth internship program. So those are the 5 things that we're going to be exploring today. All right. So how many of you have Excel? You have Excel currently on your system. Let me see the people that. If you have Excel on your system, can you say yeah? Put yeah in the chat. Yeah. If you have Excel running on your system, yeah. All right. But Excel, yeah? There's 2 types. There's Excel and there's Excel. There are 2. They're 2 different. So which one do you have? Do you have Excel or you have Excel? Which one do you have? Is it Excel or Excel? Okay, there are 2 different ones, okay? All right. Okay. Excel. Somebody has Excel on their own. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Okay, both. Somebody said both. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay. What really matters is, unfortunately, it's not every Excel currently that has Python, that comes with Python. So you need Microsoft 365. You will need Excel from Microsoft 365. Okay. You need Excel, not Excel. this time around, okay, you'll need Excel from Microsoft 365. So this is the newest model for Excel you have to be working with. You can't be using 2019, 2016, 2013 and expect Python to run on those applications. You would need Excel from Microsoft 365. Okay, so I've made it easy for you. I've provided a link here. I'm just going to click on the link to show you that it works. So once you get the slides, you can click on the link. All right, and there's a video of me showing you how you can also get Microsoft 365 Excel on your personal system. So there's a video. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. Okay, don't watch that while I'm on call. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to post it. You'll get the links. You'll get to, because I don't want to distract you. Okay, but on the slides, you get the slides after the session. Okay, and you get all the links that are available for you to watch how to download. You see here, I'm walking you through the steps on how to download Microsoft 365. You can see 365 over here. Okay, so I'm going to walk you. There's a video provided for you to install, download all the things you need to do on Microsoft 365. All right. So the videos are there for you. Okay. So once you have that downloaded, once you have Excel 365 from Microsoft 365 downloaded and installed on your system, that's step one. That's the first step you need to do. Download and install Excel from Microsoft 365. That's the first step. Now, the second step is what I'm going to put you through right now. Okay. The second step is very simple. The second step is very simple. So I'm going to just open Excel real quick and I'm going to walk you through the step. Okay. So give me a second. Okay. Yes. So this is Excel. Okay. And I'm just going to show you how a Python looks like in Excel. Then I'll show you how to get it into Excel. So if you click on formulas, you see on the tab here, you have formula. So click on formula, okay? You would see Python, insert Python. You'll see it here. Preview. You see this box over here. Let me just get a pen so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, here is my pen. Sorry, let me just get a pen. Sorry, who has a pen? Let me get a pen from you. All right, so just gonna put this to the side. So you see it here, okay? So this box over here, you'll see Python, and you see it is still in preview, okay? It's not launched. It's not on every Excel currently. So even if you download Excel, you will still not see this in there. So it's still in preview. So it's still in that beta phase where people are still testing, people are still playing along with it. Okay, so it's not like mainstream at the moment. All right, so it's still in that beta phase where people are still working with it, testing it, making assumption, doing very different assumption and all that. So you see it here. This is the preview. So now let me show you how to get this preview. This preview you see here. Let me show you how to get it into your own Excel. All right. So what you need to do is click on File. Okay, click on File and you see options, okay? Click on options. Sorry, where's my options? All right. So click on file, click on file, click on account, rather, sorry. Click on account, okay? Now, you see update options. So you see, you can actually update yours first of all. If you're using a cracked version, it's not going to work. Nothing will happen. All right. So you have to be using Microsoft 365. Like I said, you see it, subscription product for, if you're MENA. All right. Microsoft 365. Okay. So you see updates now. Check for an apply update. So if you click on that, it's going to update your Excel. Okay. All right. And after you finish updating your Excel, the next step is Microsoft 365 is the channel. Okay. You need to change your channel. So in order for you to get Python into your Excel, all right, step one, update your Excel. Once you even down, if you know you just downloaded it, I'm just walking you through the steps I took personally because I did several tests in order for me to get what I was doing. Okay. So to update, the first thing you need to do is update. All right. Click on update now in order for you to update your Excel. And after updating, Microsoft 365 Insider, you would see change channel. Click on that. Okay. And you see, like I said, this the Python in Excel is still in that beta phase. So it's not launched, it's not in the regular channel. So it's currently in the beta channel. So you see current channel, okay, and you see a beta channel. That's what you're looking for. So once you update your Excel, once you update Excel, okay, come to Microsoft 365 Insider, all right, and you'll see change channel. Click on that. You click on all this, apply, check for apply updates, sign me up for early access, blah blah blah, and all that. Click on all that. All right. Once you're done, ensure you selected the beta channel. Click on beta channel, okay, and agree to the terms and click on OK. I have done that, so I don't need to do it again. Okay, I have done that, so I don't need to do it again. All right. So, like I said, you will need a 365 account in order for you to use Python in Excel. Now, you can download it for free, okay? You can download 365 for free. I think it's free for the first month. So if you've never downloaded before, you've never downloaded Excel from Microsoft directly before, you can go to their website and the first month is free of charge. The first month is free of charge. All right. You can subscribe, then cancel your subscription afterwards. I don't, it depends on you. It's actually not that expensive. In Naira terms, it's about 5,000 Naira every month. So it's not really expensive. It's not going to break the bank for you. All right. And if you want to pay for the year, I think it's about 35,000. It's even cheaper. All right. So you could do whatever suits you. Okay. But the first month is free. You can unsubscribe so they don't keep taking your money. All right. So all you need is Microsoft 365. It's free. Once you download it, you have access to it for life. Do you understand? Okay. So that's like exactly what I said. All you need to do is change it to the beta channel and you are good to go. Okay. Click on OK and restart your system. The last step is for you to restart your system. All right, you will need to restart your system. So after you've done all that, you've gone through all the steps, account, you updated. After updating, you change the channel to the beta channel. You will need to restart your system. Restart your system. So once you get the recording, please follow that steps and you would see you would have Python within your work environment. All right. Okay, so that's it. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to get Python into your Excel environment. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I would provide you with the materials. I have a video here that walks you through how you can get Python. So there's a video here that I would send to you after the class in order for you to get Python into your Microsoft Excel. All right. So I'll send you all the materials that you need. All you need to do is just sit down and listen and just look at what's happening in the industry. That's all you need to do. Okay. Just relax. Everything will do everything for you. All the materials, all the things that you need in order for you to replicate what we are doing today, everything will be made available for you. All you need to do is sit back and see. This is a new development. This is, I don't, is less than 3 weeks old. Okay. Python and Excel is less than 3 weeks old in the industry. So this is very new, very, very new. So don't rush. Okay. And that's the reason why you just take your time and listen to what we're doing today and see what adjustments, see what is new in the industry. That's exactly what we're talking about today. All right. So, okay. All right. So yeah, Python is in my Excel. Once you get the materials, try your hands on it. If you have issues with it, reach out to us on the WhatsApp group and we'll work with you, okay? To get your Python installed properly. All right. So now let's take a look at what we're going to do today, okay? So for the class today, we're going to be doing some basic analysis, okay? And I've provided the data that we're going to work with, all right? So we're going to be looking at uh, a real life scenario and see how Python plays with an actual data set. All right. So once you get the material, you would see click here to download. So the file is there already. So once you get the material, just click here. That's all you do. Click here and the material will be downloaded. It's an Excel file. So it's an Excel file that looks like this. Okay. So let me just bring up I'm going to close this one. So give me a second. I'm going to bring up my own Excel sheets at the moment. All right. So this is how it looks like. This is Excel. This is how the data looks like. So once you click on this button, it's going to give you this Excel sheet. This Excel sheet. All right, it's going to give you this Excel sheet. We have introduction for just to introduce Python. So if you're seeing Python for the first time, I'll show you what Python is. Okay, so that's for introduction. Then we have the data. Okay, so the data is an employee data set. An employee data set, just basically information about employees. Okay, then we have a tab here, it's empty, okay? Analysis and visualization. So once you click on that Excel sheet, once you click on this, once you get the file and you click here to download, you would have this Excel sheet. You would have this same Excel sheet. So like I said, all the materials for this session will be provided to you, okay, as long as you wait till the end of the session. Every single thing will be provided to you. The recording, the materials, every single thing will be provided to you. All you need to do is just sit back. All you need to do is just listen. All right. All you need to do is listen. Okay. That's all we are expecting. That's what I just want from you. You would replicate every single thing that we're doing in class. Once we're done with it, you get all the materials. All right. Okay. So now let's start. Let's start with introduction. Now let me do a basic. I like to give out reward to people in my class. I like to give out reward to people in my class. Cash reward, cash. I don't joke, I don't play. So if you answer a question in my class, I give you money. I give you straight up cash. Okay. But usually it's like the top three people that answer the most questions that get the money. All right. I won't lie to you. Sometimes if we have a tie, I can give top five, but I want people to be very responsive in my class. You get me? All right. So the first question I'm going to ask is, all right, these alphabets, what do they remain? What in Excel, what do they stand for? Let me see the people that are going to answer me. So use the chat. Columns, Adekola, one person. Adekola is number one. All right. Number one. No, not cell. The alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, they are all called columns. So Adekola was the first person to get that. All right. Now the next one is going to be this. You see this box here, okay? What is it called? The box. Pauline. Pauline is the first person. Row. If you look at this, if you guys are very fast, I won't lie to you. So if I go back, I could see Pauline was the first person to drop the comments on rows. Okay, Pauline was the first. So I'm going to take Pauline. Or better still, I think I'll be telling people to raise up their hands. All right, so we can really keep track of it. Now, the alphabets are called columns. Okay, these boxes, these small rectangles. Okay, they are called cell. It's called a cell. It's called a cell. While the numbers are called row. So you see, this is a row. This is row 6. This is column F. This is row 5, row 3, okay, row 4. I'm just explaining basic Excel if you've never used Excel before. All right. So this is row 4, row 5, row 6. This is column D, column E, and column F. So each cell, each cell, each cell, you see it's an intersection. It's an intersection between the row and the column. All right. So each cell is an intersection between the row and the column. So you see this cell here, this cell, correct, is an intersection between the column and the row. So I'm explaining basic Excel so that everybody can all be on the same page. For people that are beginners or expert. I'm going to be very fast with my explanation anyways. So you see the cell, okay? It has a name. The name of the cell is what? C4. And that's because when you look at column C, okay, row 4, it gives you C4, not the bomb this time around. If you play Call of Duty or you watch a lot of action movie, you know C4 is an explosive, but in this Excel is a cell. Okay. Now, who can tell me the name of this cell? This cell over here. Let me see the people that are fast with their numbers. F6. Modukwe. No, that's not F6. That's wrong. So it's actually Adekola again. Okay. So it's F8. It's F8. That's the name of the cell. F8. F8. So if I come here and I click on it, you would see it here. F8. That's the name of the cell. F8. F8. So, anyways, that's with basic introduction to Excel. So, to a very large extent, I think you guys are very good with Excel. To a very large extent, I think you guys deserve a round of applause. You guys deserve a round of applause. You guys are doing well. Now, let's do introduction to Python. That's introduction to Excel. Let's do introduction to Python. Introduction to Python. All right. Let's do introduction to Python. I don't know about you guys, but I feel very I feel very excited that Python is inside of Excel. You have not, maybe if you've never worked as a data analyst, you might not really understand. Well, Excel used to be that very small, mundane tool that everybody used, but now it's becoming so technical that Python now exists in Microsoft Excel. Now let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. So we're going to be looking at what we call data structures. All right. Data what? Structures. Now, imagine doing this inside of Excel. I used to do this in, other tools like PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook, and all that, Google Colab. But now you're doing Python inside Microsoft Excel. I feel very amazed. All right. So number one, data structure we're going to look at. And when I say data structure, it means in Python, using a programming language. All right. In Excel, we have four types of data type, four data types in Excel. All right. Let me start with Excel and I'll do it in Python so you understand better. So we have in Excel, we have four types. Okay. In Excel, we have four types. So first of all, we have number, okay, which is what we are all familiar with, number. So number one, you see, by default, number one aligns to the right. By default, you see, once I put a number inside a cell, it will align to the right immediately. You see, it will just come to the right over here. So by default, numbers align to the right. If you never knew this, okay, now you know. All right. So by default in Excel, numbers align to the right. The second one I'm going to show you is a date, another data type, another Excel data type, a date. So date, let's put today's date, 22/09/2023. This also, guess what? Aligns to the right. So numbers and dates, those two data types in Excel align to the right. They both align to the right. So now let's take a look at the next one, which is a text. Let's take a look at text. Now text is, let me just write my name, okay? Ifemena. Okay? Let me write Ifemena and press enter. What happens? Can anybody tell me the difference? What happens this time around? Numbers and dates are somewhere. Pauline, fantastic. I love that. All right. So I'm going to give Pauline, I feel like saying Adekola and Pauline, they answer all my questions today very quickly. Okay, you see, text aligns to the left. So text align, they align to the left. So you see, these are basic things that you feel like, I just type in Excel. But you see, these are the basic fundamentals that you understand in Excel that will get you the job that you're looking for. But anyways, let's continue. And the last one is special character. The last one is special character. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at that real quick. So special character, like your I'm just going to put different special characters in there, press enter. You see, they also align to the left. So you see, these are the data types you have in Microsoft Excel. These are the data types you have in Microsoft Excel. So you have text, you have numbers, date, text, special characters, and you can see how they function. So in Excel, numbers align to the right, dates align to the right, text align to the left, special characters align to the left. Now let's take a look at Python. Oh, I'm so excited about this, you guys. You have no idea. You know, so you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are Excel. Now let's take a look at Python. Let's try Python. I'm just going to explore. There are 8 of them, but I'm just going to show you about 3 of them. 3 is enough for introduction. I don't want to get too technical. All right. So let's start with the first one. The first one is an integer. First one is an integer. The next one is a float, and the next one is a string. Okay. Now let's start with integer. Okay, I don't want to go too technical. Integer, they are what? They are whole numbers. Okay, this is Python inside Excel. You guys bear in mind, and I'm going to show you how to work with Python now inside Excel. So integer, they are whole numbers. Whole numbers. Now, I'm very sure if you're not in mathematics, if you're not very confident with basic mathematics, if it's something that you've done for like a while ago, you might not understand what integer is. I'm going to explain it to you. So, integer. So let's write our first Python code. So I'm going to click on formula. I'm going to write I'm going to, write our first Python code inside of Excel. So you see here, you have insert Python. So there are two ways you can write Python in Excel. 2 ways, and I'm going to show you the 2 ways. The first one is let's say I want to write a Python code inside this cell. I could come here manually with my mouse, come to formulas, and you see insert Python, click on that, and you see Py will come into that cell. All right, that's the first way. I'm going to do that again. All right, click on the cell, click on formulas, you see insert Python, click on that, and you see Python comes into the Excel, comes into the cell. So now inside that cell, I can write a code, okay? And it's going to interpret it as Python, okay? So now if I write the number 10, I want to write just 10. I just write 10 alone, 10. So like I said, integer, this is Python now. This is not Excel. This is Python. Integer are what? Whole numbers. So 10 is a whole number. As long as it doesn't have a decimal point, it is a whole number. So if I press enter now, I press control, you see it here. Use control plus enter to commit Python code. Use control plus enter. Control plus enter, meaning that you're pressing them together at the same time. Press control and enter together at the same time for you to execute your code. So I'm going to press control on my keyboard and I'm going to press enter at the same time. And you see 10, it gives me 10. But currently you really don't know what that 10, you just see 10, okay? Because it looks like Excel. But you see this value here, okay? We show that it's like a Python code you've written. So let's take a look at this. Once you click on that cell, you see on the right, you see this drop down. You can see it as a Python object, and you could see it as an Excel value. I'm going to come back to this, but this is the best way for you to view your results, your Python code in Excel. This is the best way for you to view your code in Excel. So they are all numbers. This is 10. So you see, if I come here, you see if I click on that same cell, you see this icon over here. Now this icon, if I click on it, all right, you see, I can check the type, the Python type. That's the type of data it is. Okay, I can check the type of data it is. So if I click on that, you see the class is int, class int. So that is integer. So because this is a whole number, okay, because this is a whole number, it is an integer. So the short form for integer is what? int, which is int. Okay, the short form is int. So integer, they are all numbers, either positive or negative, either positive or negative. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If it is minus 1 billion, if it is minus 5 trillion, it doesn't matter. So if I write minus 10 and I run it, okay, it is still integer. But you see, the moment I put 10.5 and I run it, oh, what happens? It becomes a float. It becomes a float. So floats are what? They are, okay, they are decimal point numbers. Okay, all right. Either positive, I'm just going to put it either positive or negative, right? It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to change this back. Pardon me, so that you can. I just wanted to do that. Okay, so you see for yourself. All right. So you see here, the second way, rather than coming here to be clicking on insert Python every single time, I cannot be doing that every time. Okay, so they've made it easy for us. Okay, so you could also write equals to pi and press tab. Press tab on your keyboard, you see the tab key. So once you type in equals to py, which is pi, Python, short form for Python, equals to pi, and you press tab, you see it gives you the same result of clicking on insert Python. Okay, so that's exactly what you need to do. So let's type in 10.5 like we did earlier, 10.5, and I press enter. Okay, shift control enter, I mean control plus enter. So I'm using Excel, so I'm using Excel commands. All right, so I'm still getting used to that control enter, okay, shift enter, and all that. Okay, so you'll get used to it. Anyways, it's still Excel. So I think that's the major area that I need to get used to, pressing control and enter to run the code. Okay, so now let's check the data type. Python type, and you see float. Now let's do the last one, which is a string. Okay. And I'm going to, and there's a reason why I'm doing this. Okay. So let me just put in if mena. I'm going to type in if mena in quotation and I'll press enter. All right. And I'll check the data type. And you see string, str. So these are what? They are text. They are basically text or alphabets. They're basically text. Okay, the way you see text. If a man I want to go out, they are text data points. Okay. Please, I log in Python in Excel. How do you get Python Excel? Don't worry, you get the materials and everything. Just watch, just listen. Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. So this is basically it. So these are some of the data types we have in Python. But now, before you had to download and you needed to download what we call an IDE in order for you to write Python codes. All right, you needed to download an IDE. An IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Okay, so before you needed to download an IDE like PyCharm, VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, and so on and so forth. There are plenty out there. All right, you need to download these ones in order for you to write Python code. But now, guess what? You can do that in Excel. You can do the same thing you do in all these other applications. You can write your codes in Microsoft Excel. Now, that's just me introducing Python to you. All right, that's me introducing Python to you. So let's do a little bit of data analysis this time around. Okay, all right. So who is ready for this? Who is ready for this? Let me see. Let me see who is ready for a little bit of analysis now. A little bit of analysis. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah. Yes, let's go. I'm ready. Okay. All right. No problem. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's do a little bit of analysis now. Let's do a little bit of analysis. Okay. So you see, this is our data set. This is a data that we've gotten. Okay. It's an employee data set. Employee. So we have the education of the employee. We have the year they joined the organization. Okay. We have the year they joined the organization. Okay. We have the year they joined the organization, we have their city, we have their payment year, we have the age of the employee, we have the gender, the ever branch, if the person is ever benched, sorry, okay, ever the bench on a project or something. Okay, so if you're working on a project and the person is not performing, you can bench the person and bring a new person in. So has the person ever been benched? Okay, experience level. Okay, so every organization, okay, experience in current domain. So every organization you work in. So if you work on a particular role for 2 years, you have experience in that particular subject, in that subject area for like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, depending on the. So these are all information about employees of this organization. So you look at this particular employee, this is a single employee. So this employee now has a bachelor's degree, joined our organization 2017. Current city is Bangalore. Okay, Bangalore. Okay. Current tier is 3. All right. Age is 34. So this person is 34 years old. He's a male. So he's a guy. All right. Ever benched. He has never been benched on any project. Experience in current domain, 0. Leave or not. So is the person still with the organization? Yes or no? So 0 for what? 0 for no, and 1 for yes. So 0 means the person has left. 1 means the person is still, okay, sorry. 0 means the person is still with the organization. 1 means the person has left the organization. So 1 indicates the person has left the organization, while 0 means this particular employee is still with the organization. So now, ideally, before, when you get your data in Excel, you start to analyze. So when you get your data in Excel, let me see the people that are good with analysis. When you get this kind of data in Excel, what would you do first of all? Let me see. Anybody, let me test some people. Raise up your hand if you want to answer the question. I want to have a conversation with this person. So if you have a data set in Excel, what would you do, for example? What would you do? Adekola, Adekola is really here to win all the cash prize. I only have 2 people on my list, which is Adekola and Pauline. So I need more people to put on my list, please, guys. Adekola, let's go.
Okay, so hi. Well, I'm
Yeah.
here to win your money, by the way. So
Don't worry.
I'm just
I'm happy. I'm happy to give you all the money. Don't worry.
no, well, all right. So the first thing that comes to my head is data cleanup. So you
Okay.
probably want to clean up the data, see if there are
Okay.
anomalies.
Okay.
See if maybe some of the fields doesn't have the same. Um, for instance, you were talking about text, so maybe education doesn't. They don't all have the same text or data type, and so you want to do all sort of cleanup
Okay.
just before you get started. I think.
Fantastic. Beautiful. I love that. I love it. I love it. J Boy,
Thank you.
I'm gonna J Boy said something in the chat, especially for Excel users, convert to an Excel table. So J Boy, I don't know your real name, but I'll just give you as J Boy. Adekola, I'm gonna give you times 2 because you've answered my question like twice now. Okay, so that's 2x. So
Thank you.
that's giving you more opportunities in the future. Okay, so no worry, you can still answer more questions. But I'm gonna give you J Boy. I'm also gonna give Adekola. So like Adekola said. Sorry, guys, you can put on your hands. I just need one person. Just one person I'll be taking. So sorry about that. So you need to be very fast. All right. So, what ideally you want to explore the data, you would need to explore. And that's why in data science, do you know what they call it? Can anybody guess what they call it in data science? When you want to explore the data, you want to explore. I'm giving you hints already, hints. So in data science, there's something we call you want like when you want EDA. What does EDA stand for? I don't want short form. People are here that don't understand what EDA stands for. What does EDA? Sharif, exploratory data analysis. Okay, exploratory data analysis. That is for um that's for who gave that? Sharif. Sharif. All right. So there's something we call exploratory data analysis, okay, where you explore the data. you take a look at it, you open it up, you clean it, you check it out to see what is inside. All right. It's just like a coconut. You don't know what's inside. You don't know if it's good, if it's bad. You don't know if there are insects. You don't know anything. You need to open it up to find out it's fresh, if it is good, if it has water inside, so on and so forth. So it's the same thing with data. So before you start to do anything, you will need to open up the data, all right, to see what is inside. Can I make sense of this? You need to explore the data. Now, all those data science activities, I want to do it inside Excel. That's how exciting it is. Jay said, convert to an Excel table. So if you never use Excel for analysis, you will not understand that statement. Using Excel table will save your life as a data analyst. Okay. All right. So if you've never explored Excel tables, please try it. It's fantastic for analysis, for automation, so on and so forth. All right. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Excel. We don't shank Excel. We've shanked Excel. We're looking at Python now inside of Excel. So let's take a look at what we're going to do first of all. So as a data scientist using this, okay, I'm going to do what? I'm going to explore the data. I'm going to do what? Explore the data. So the first thing I'll do, all right, the first thing I'm going to zoom in. So it might affect the structure of the data set of the data. But I just want you to see exactly what I am doing. So pardon me, okay? Is the data set, or maybe what I'll do is to reduce the size of the data, okay? Um, oh, that's too small. All right, so I just reduce it a little. All right, yeah, I think this is more than enough, so you can still see the whole columns and all that. All right. All right, so the first thing I'll do is to create. Sorry, I still want to zoom in a bit so you can see it properly. I don't know, is it okay like this? Is it okay like this, guys? Let me see. Give me a thumbs up if the screen is wide enough. Yes, okay. All right. So create a data frame. Can you imagine you can create data frame now in Excel? Oh, fantastic, fantastic. I'm happy to be alive this period, honestly speaking. To see this happen in Excel is absolutely mind-blowing. So you can now create a data frame in Excel. If you've never worked with Python before, you won't understand what a data frame is. A data frame is essentially like a table, but you would use it. It's a table, it's a table, it's a table. The same way you're looking at this table like this data set, all right? But it's a table in Python. And that's the best way you do your analysis. All right. So the best way you do analysis in Python is to convert your data into a data frame, a pandas data frame. So we don't really work with Excel. When you're bringing your Excel inside, you can do that conversion from Excel, from the way it looks like currently, into a data frame. So you see any form of analysis you're doing in Python, you are always using a data frame. Most times you're going to be working with a data frame. And when we get to other parts of it, you see exactly what I'm talking about. So you see, create a data frame. Now let me show you how to create a data frame. Very simple. Very simple. And you see how but these guys, people they work, I'm not gonna lie you. All right. So you see this, yeah? Let's bring in Python. So like I said, there are two ways of bringing in Python. Either you click on insert Python or you type equals to pi. Which one would you prefer? Equals to pi or clicking on insert Python? Which one would you prefer? Which one would you prefer? Equals to pi or going to formulas to click on equals to pi? Fantastic. Equals to pi, equals to pi. That's good. I love you guys. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. All right. All right, so let's do that. So let me do it again. So let me create our first data frame. Let me show you how these guys are, they've done very good. So I will say equals to pi. All right. And now once I have this green box and as I have the pi, the py in there, all I have to do is highlight the data. I don't need to do anything. Nothing. Seriously, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to type any code. I don't need to, in Python, you need to write pd equals pd dot read CSV, pd dot read Excel, pd dot read. I don't need all that anymore. I don't need it anymore. All right. So I will just do what? I don't even need to type. Once I put in the pi equals to pi and I press tab, okay, all I need to do is highlight the table from head to bottom, from head to bottom. So I'll just highlight it from the head to the bottom. There's faster way of doing this. You can just press your Control Shift down. All right, but we have a lot of newbies in class, so this is a lot. I don't think I can do that. Press Control Shift down. Control Shift down. It will take you to the end. All right, it will take you to the end, and you see it here. All right. So you see it here, A1 to I 4,000. So we have about 4,000 employees, 4,600 plus employees. So all you need to do, once you click on that pie, okay, just highlight your table and press, you see it here, use Control plus Enter to commit. So press Control Enter, and that's all you need to do, okay? That's literally all you need to do. And you see, I have my first data frame inside of Excel. Now, let me show you two ways to view your data frame. I'm going to show you two ways to view your data frame. So you see this button here. You see this button here. You have Python object, and that is what is currently selected, Python object. But I can also see Excel value. I could also see Excel value. So if I click on Excel value, it will show me the data frame. It will show me everything, the entire data set. So this is my data frame currently. All right. I'm going to change it back to Python objects because it doesn't consume a lot of space. So it basically puts everything together. But you can come here, you can hover your mouse around this icon and it will show you your data frame. So you see it, you now have Anaconda inside of Excel. You have Anaconda inside of Excel. So you see, it shows you your data frame. So that's the easy way of creating a data frame. It's an easy way of creating a data frame. So it has already highlighted, it is automatic. All these things, I did not write anything. So headers equals to true basically means that you have headers. Okay. So you see age, gender, ever benched, experience level, leave or not. These are all headers. So headers equals to true. So I did not write any of these things. All I did, it was intuitive for Python, okay, to be able to know that the first row is an header, okay, or is a header, whatever it is, okay? So it's intuitive. So once you do that, it picks it up by itself, okay? So once you've done that, press Control Enter and you have it. You have a data frame. So you see the part of exploration. Let's start to explore the data. Let's start to explore the data. So part of the exploration is to view the top 5 rows. View the top 5 rows. Okay, view the top 5 rows. Let's take a look at what we have here. All right, view the top 5 rows of the data. So now let's do Python now. Exploration, this is still part of exploratory data analysis. All right, so equals to py, press tab. Now I would say I want to view the top 5 rows, I would say, of this data frame. Okay, of this data frame, I want to see the top 5 rows of the data frame. I would say equals to, all right, this data frame, okay, and I'll put what? Dot end. So you see all those things that you did in Python, you can now do it inside of Excel. All this exploration, all this things. We're going to do maybe 1 or 2 visualizations, and you see how simple it is to work with Excel, Python inside of Excel. Even though it's still in preview, like I said earlier, all right, but you can always work with it. So you see what we've done here now. This is the data set. This is the data frame. Okay, so equals to L4, the data frame, and we just put in my dot end. So dot head will give you the top 5 rows. All right. Dot head will give you, and I have a syntax error. Okay. So now this is where you need to explore what's happening here. So I have an error here. So let me just close this and retype. Most times, like I said, it's still in preview. So majority of the time. So just click on this. Okay. Dot end. Open and close the brackets and press enter. Control enter. All right. So now I have a data frame. I can come here to view it. I'll view it as an Excel value. And you see it will give me only the top 5 rows. it will give me only the top 5 rows. So all those exploratory data analysis you do in Python, you can now do it in Excel. So view top 5 rows, to view the bottom 5 rows, and so on and so forth. All right. You can now do all those kind of analysis inside of Microsoft Excel. All right. I can click the drop down and I'll change it back to the Python object. Like I said, the Excel value takes up a little bit of space. Okay. The Excel value takes up a little bit of space. All right. So I would always anytime I view what I've done, I usually convert it back to a Python object. So like I said earlier, this is still in preview. So there is no best practice of what to do or how you should write it or how you should use Python in Excel. There is no method just yet. Okay, so it's still something that we are previewing. We're still working with it. So that's why most times you see me convert it to Excel. All right, I convert it to Excel, just to see it. All right, just to take a look at it. And once I see it, I can convert it back to my Python object. So it doesn't take so much space. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, if I want to view the bottom 5 rows, can anybody guess what it will be? View the bottom 5 rows. All right. Bottom 5 rows. Sharif. So people are vexed. No, Sharif has answered to my question. Now that is 2 times. All right. So it's okay. Somebody's asking, what does XL mean? XL means Excel. XL, okay, means Excel. Okay, so it's basically telling you that you're referencing an Excel cell. Okay, so Excel cell L4. So that's basically what it means. Okay, so nothing too technical. It's just because I referenced that particular cell, it's giving me XL. Okay, Excel cell L4. Do you understand? So bottom, to view the bottom, I'm going to say equals to pi. I'm going to click on my data frame and I would say equals to dot tail. Open and close the bracket. So you see this dot tail is going to give you the bottom 5 rows. Tail. Anytime you remember I shall be the head and not the tail, you always remember how to use it. Okay, so the head will give you top 5. Tail will give you bottom 5. Head, top 5. Bottom, tail, bottom 5. Do you understand? Control Enter. Okay. So if you've ever remembered the phrase, I shall be the head and not the tail. Head, top 5. Tail, bottom 5. All right. So let's take a look at it. Okay. Let's take a look at the Excel value. And you see it give you the bottom 5. Okay. The bottom 5. So anyways, these are basic stuff. Let's do a little bit of statistical analysis now. Let's do a bit of descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics. All right, a little bit of descriptive statistics. Now you have your data sets. You have your, what if it is top 10? Fantastic, try me, I love that question. So if it is top 10, all right, very simple. All you need to do is, you'll do what? Equals to pi, all right? And I'll click on my data frame. I'll put dot head, okay? And inside that head, okay, I'll put 10 inside and I'll run it. And once I'm done with it, okay, and if I do this now, I view it as an Excel value. You'll see, and now I would have 10 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if I don't specify, okay, if I don't specify, it will give me 5 by default. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's exactly what we have there. So that's just the way you work around. By default, head will give you 5. Then tail will give you 5 by default. Exactly. I love you guys. You guys deserve a round of applause from me personally. Me to you, all of you on the call currently. Yes. Yes. You guys are too much. You guys, I think I've been facilitating for the past almost over 10 years now. And I would say this is one of the best classes I have attended that I have actually facilitated. You guys are very smart. And there's still a lot that we're going to learn. I just have maybe 2, 3 more things. I will move into something else. So let's do a little bit of descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics. So now the problem with doing, the problem with this is I would always have to be clicking on this cell every single time. So if I want to do descriptive statistics now, I would need to come and click on this data frame and use it. That is very tiresome. I don't know about you, but anything that requires me to be going there every time, I feel tired already. All right. I feel like so exhausted. And that's the reason why I give J, J Boy said in Excel, convert it to an Excel table. So if you convert your table to an Excel table, you don't need to be going to your referencing every time. You don't need to be going back to be referencing your table. The moment you have a table, you can always use it in any analysis. You can combine, you can use it in a power pivot, you can use it anyhow you want. So, but that's exactly what we want to do now. You see, with this particular, if I want to do descriptive statistics now, I will need to do what? Equals to pi, all right? I will need to come here to click on this data frame, okay? And I would write what? Dot describe, okay? Okay? I will need to do that. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to be coming here to click on this data frame every single time. It's becoming very frustrating for me. So what would I do? Very simple. It's called variable assignment. So you see all those things that you can do in Python, you can now do it in Excel. All right, variable assignment. So you see this data frame here, I would assign it to a variable. All right. Now, if you don't understand what a variable means, I will explain it to you. Okay. So, but let me just show you how it looks like. I will say data equals to, okay. So you see all these things here, I have carried them on my head and I have dropped it inside a reservoir. Okay. So it's just like a variable is a container. A variable is a container. It's like an ice cream bowl. I usually use this analogy. All right. So if you go to a Nigerian or African person's house and you see an ice cream bowl in the freezer, and you open it, what will you see inside? Let me see the true Nigerians and Africans in the house. Okay. If you go to soup, one by you. Stew. What kind of soup, I beg? What kind of soup? You egusi, I'm tired of you say egusi. All right, fantastic. This is beautiful. Some people use okra, some people use ogbolo. Some people, it could be any kind of soup. Do you understand? Some people it is jollof rice, it is for real. Yes. So you see that container, that's not what it is built for. It's supposed to be an ice cream bowl. For God's sake, Africans, please use it for ice cream. All right. But obviously, it's a container. So in some people's house, they use it for first aid. Okay, there's plaster, there is spirit, there's iodine, there is what they call it again, so on and so forth. They use it for first aid. Some people use it for throwing kits. So you see, the container does not reject anything. No. In somebody's house, you can use it to store egusi. Will you say that, oh, I don't, will the container tell you, I don't eat egusi, please don't put egusi inside me? No, you can put anything inside. As long as you bought it from the market, even if you went to somebody's house and you picked it up from the person's house and you take it to your house, you can put anything inside. It should accept it. So a variable is like that container. It accepts anything you put inside. Okay? In somebody's house, it was a sewing kit. In another person's house, it can be what? It can be first aid. In another person's house, it could be sponge for you to be keeping your sponge and soap and all that. In another person's house, it can be baler, the way you used to bath. Do you understand? If you use it for anything, do you understand? So that's exactly what a variable is. So in this my own now, I said, okay, do you know what? I want to put my data set inside the variable, inside that container. Keep it for me. Anytime I come back, and I call you, you will give me answer. Do you understand? So I carried this data set. This is the data set. All right. This is the data set. So I carried it on my head and I threw it inside that variable. I said, keep it for me. So that's exactly what I've done. I have said, Python, take this data set and put it inside this variable. So I don't need to be coming here every single time. I don't need to be coming there every single time. So to do my descriptive statistics now, I can say pi. So rather than going to that cell to click on that cell, I will just type in data, sharp, and I can say data.describe. Okay? And I'll run it. Okay. So I don't need to go there again. I don't need to go there. Now I have their phone number. I can call them to say, if I've been making here, why let me bring that thing. Do you understand? Give me a go, bring that money. You got get me. So I don't need to go back there. I can now phone, I can just reference them and say, yo, data, come and describe. Do you understand? Come and run describe. And it will run for me. Do you understand? So I don't need to be there anymore. I don't need to go here to click on it and write describe. That's boring. Okay. So that's exactly what we do. So once you run it, okay, now let's take a look at what we call descriptive statistics. Now, like I said, you change it from Python objects to Excel value, not Excel, not Excel value. You see there, it is called Excel value. You get me? Okay. All right. So you have this here, descriptive statistics. You can now do your descriptive statistics. So you have your mean, you have your standard deviation, you have your mean, you have your 25 percentile, 50 percentile, your 75 percentile, and your maximum. You can now do descriptive. You can do this in Excel. Prior to this, maybe you can do this in another version. All right. But now you can do it in Python. You can write this. The things you do in Python, you can now do it in Microsoft Excel. All right. So you see joining here, you can do the total count. So with this, you can any column that has a missing value, like the caller said, you need to explore to find out if you have missing data, if you have, you have missing data, you have incorrect values, so on and so forth. This is a fast way for you to describe, to understand if you have missing data in your columns. Do you understand? All right. So the mean. So when you get to statistics, your mean and your median, you need to explore your mean and your median. But we're not going to do all that. Okay. In order for you to describe, in order for you to understand outliers and all that, you need to, look at your mean and your median in order for you to detect outliers. But something like year, you can't do that with year, so on and so forth. But we're just exploring. We are still exploring. We're not doing too much, okay? We're not doing too much today. But you'll notice something else. You'll notice that it was how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Only 5 columns. 5 columns out of how many columns? 9 columns. So we have 9 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 columns. But we only have 5. But we only have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So where's the remaining 4? Where is the... Do you know what's happening currently? Does anybody? The orders are not numerical. Beautiful. Gideon, I'll just give you a question. It wasn't meant to be a question, but you answered, and I just said, Gideon, you're too much. That's a good one. So, by default, when you use dot describe, it will only look for the numerical column. It will only use, I'm going to convert it back to a Python object. So when you use describe, it will only use numeric. Okay? It will only use numeric. Okay? So only look at the numeric column. That's where data type comes in. Okay. So you see when we started, that's why we started with that. Integer, int, float, decimal point, text, ephemera, mean just text. So if you look at the data set, education is what? Education is a string, is a text, it's not a number. So let me just convert this to an Excel value so you see exactly what I'm saying. So you see joining here is what? Is a number. Payment here is a number. What else is there? Age. So age is just a number. So all of you are saying age is nothing but age is nothing but a number. Python says so, Excel says so. So all data analysts say age is a number, it is a number. Do you understand? All right. Okay. So moving on. So age is a number. Experience class, you see it's experience, also a number. So you see by default, that describe is only going to look at the numeric column, only the numeric column. You'll now be asking yourself, is that not discrimination? That's discrimination in this day and age. So you mean that if I identify as a categorical data, it means that describe will not work with me. Is that what you're saying? Okay. So we need to be inclusive. Okay. We need to be inclusive. So we can find a way to include categorical data. So if you identify as a category, I'll show you how to describe what kind of data. So I'm going to show you quickly in just like a few seconds. And you see, these things used to be vague to people that are using Excel before, but now you can do all these things in Excel, and I feel absolutely, excited about it. Categorical. Categorical. Okay. Categorical. Is it categorical or categorical? You see, I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to see. It's tal. Okay, thank you, bro. All right, so let's include categorical, okay? All join, bye. Sorry, I think I'm messing up something here. Okay. So let's include categorical, all the categorical data, and it's very simple, and we'll show you how to do it. So equals to pi, press tab to bring in your Python, okay? Because I have named my data frame, because I have given a variable to the data, I don't need to go back here to click on this one. What would I write? I would just write data, okay? I'll simply my describe, okay? And now, the only thing I would say include equals to only objects. I'll say objects. Okay, close my quotation and close the bracket. Okay, close quotation and close the bracket. Then once I've written this, all I have to do is press Control Enter, and let's see what I have. So now let's take a look at this. Now this one would only give me categorical data. You see, this is now only categorical. Education, city, gender, ever-based. Let's take a look at this. Education, text, correct? City, text. Gender, text. Ever-based, text. So these are all categorical data points. Okay? All right. So now this is descriptive statistics. So I can say account. So this account, the count that we did for numerical is doing the same thing. So if I have any missing data, I can quickly spot it out right here to say that, oh, this column, I have 5 missing data. Oh, gender, oh, I have 15, I have 20. I can easily spot the columns that have missing data. Unique education, I have 3 unique education type. So if you look at it, I have bachelor, master's, or PhD. You see PhD down here. So these are the 3 unique education types: bachelor, master's, and PhD. Basically, descriptive statistics. City, we have 3 unique cities. Gender, we have 2 genders, okay, male and female. Ever bench, okay, unique, we have 2 values, so and so on and so forth. So, and top basically means the one that appears the most. So if you look at this in this organization now, majority of the employees have a bachelor's degree. That's what it means. Majority, top means the ones that appear the most frequent. Okay. So you see top education is bachelor's. We have frequency of 3,601. 3,601, meaning that bachelor appears what 3,601 times. Okay, Bangalore appears 2,000 plus times. Male, we have more male employees of 2,778. Everbench, and so on and so forth. So these are the ways that this is just introducing you to Python within Excel. So all the things you could do in Excel, you can now do it inside of Microsoft. All right. So, because of time, okay, I just want to just explore one more thing, maybe 1 or 2, and we call it a day, okay? And I said, just give me 2 hours. That's what I'm requesting for. So let's say, let's do a little bit of visualization before we call it a day. Visualization. So you see that no be play with the play here, all right? We don't joke, okay? Python is here to, Python and Excel combinations here to take over analytics. So let's do a little bit of visualization, okay? So let's visualize, let's ask the first question. How many employees? Let's ask, as a data analyst, as a data scientist, your role as a data analyst or the data scientist is what? is to answer question question that doesn't relate to you from nowhere. They will just ask you question. How can we? How many? Who is responsible? What was the performance? Now now you that will go back to revisit those questions and see how you can use data to answer those questions. Now let's take a very simple question. Okay, how many employees, all right, do we have in each education type? Okay, so we disclosed, when we did this our data frame, when we did this data frame, all right, we figured out that we have what? Education. We have 3 unique education. 3, which is what? Who can remember the 3 unique education? Who can remember the 3 unique education? Anyways, because of, okay, BSc, PhD, Adekola is so far, 0 PHS, but it's actually correct. That's time 3 for Adekola. Anyways, it doesn't matter if you don't answer my questions, you're trying. Don't worry, I'll give everybody something, okay? Don't worry. At the end, I'll still give you something very good. All right. So how many employees do we have in each education type? So now currently we don't know. We only know bachelor's is the highest with 3,601. Okay, but we don't know how many masters and how many PhD. We don't know currently. So that's what we want to explore. So like I said, this is exploratory data analysis. This is we exploring the data to tell stories about the data. Now let's do the first thing. First thing I like to do, or I would like to show you, is what we call basically a value count. So I'm going to say equals to pi. All right. So I have my data. Remember that I called this, I used the variable assignment and I called my data. Do you understand? So I gave it a name. So basically that's what I did. All right. So I can say data square brackets and I would look for this column. So what's the name of the column I want to analyze? Education. So I'll come here and type in education. I'll say data education, close the quotation, close your square brackets, and I'll put dot value underscore counts. Okay, counts. Don't forget the S if you're writing this by yourself. Most times, if something is missing, it gives you an error. So you need to write it exactly like I've written it. So data education dot value counts. Okay, run. And you see it give you, just give it a second, it gives you a series this time around. Let's take a look at the series in Excel. Let's see how it looks like in Excel. So give it a second. Boom. You see it here? So now I can see now that bachelor's is 3,601, which is correct. Master's is 873. PhD is 179. All right, 179. So these are the various education type and their value and their what do you call it, the total number of employees. So we have 3,000 plus employees that have a bachelor's degree. We have 800 plus that have a master's degree, and we have 179 that have a PhD. Okay. So now let's visualize this. Let's put this in the visualization. Okay, let's put this in the visualization. So what visualization tools do you guys use? If you've never used it before, don't stress yourself, okay? The most popular one is Seaborn. The most popular library in Python is Seaborn. Don't worry, if you've never heard of all these things before, we will teach you, okay? That's our job. And you can see that even from the small things that you're doing today, all right? All right, it's Seaborn. So I will just say SNS, which is Seaborn, dot count plot, all right? I'll open the brackets, okay? I would say X equals to education. So I want to visualize education, okay? So I'll just type in education, close the quotation, comma, data equals to data, okay? And I'll close the bracket. Let me explain this now. SNS stands for Seaborn. So that's like the alias. Take, for example, my name is Ifemena, but my friends like to call me EF. Do you understand? So rather than call me Ifemena in full, you will call me what? EF. That's beautiful. I love that. Oh, my name is Ayodele. Oh, you can call me AY for short. So rather than saying Ayodele, you say what? AY. Let me say another person's name. Abiola. Do you understand? Abiola, instead of saying Abiola, you can call me Bio. Or you can call me Biola. Even though it's just the A that you removed. Let me look for another person's name. Who else? Who else? Who else gives their name? My name is Adenike. You can call me Ade for short, or you can call me Nike for short. Do you understand? Any way you want to call it. Basically, like a nickname, like an alias. They call it alias in Python. All right. So SNS is actually, it stands for Seaborn. It actually stands for Seaborn. Okay. Like C. Sorry, pardon my writing. I'm using my mouse to write. So it stands for Seaborn. Okay. Seaborn. That's what it stands for. But because I don't want to be writing Seaborn in full, it's too long. I'll use the short form SNS. All right. Count plot. Count plot basically means you are counting just what I have done here. I counted bachelors and I found out that, oh, I have 3,000 plus bachelor employee. I did another count. It did what? Give me 873. PhD 179. So it's basically counting for me. So that's what I'm using. I'm using the count to go into education, that education column. You see this education column that you have here? This education column. I'm telling Python, I'm giving Python a command to say, Python, go to that education column, okay, and count all the education type. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm telling you to go and do. So I'm saying the data is data. If I give it another name, it will make more sense. So data should be, let's say, let me give it another name because of this, just because of this issue. So you understand what to do when you try your hands on it. All right. So let me change the data. Let me change it from data. Let me change it to Bio. Bio. Biola, I'm going to use your alias. Okay. Anything you want to write. It's not bio. It's bio. We're calling this on bio, not bio. Okay. Click the link in my bio. So this is what most people write in bio. But no, let me call I'll call it bio. Anything. You can write anything. Your variable does not need, you don't need too many things with that. So let me run it again. All right. So some of them will give me error, definitely, because I have used data there before. So I will need to change that data to zero. All right. So you get the drift now. So I'm still gonna get errors, but anyway, don't worry, I will correct all of them. Okay, Bio. All right. So you see now with this one, I will change this data is Bio now. Okay. Now let's take a look at um this particular one, the visualization. So data is equals to Bio. You see why I changed it? So it's easy for you to know how to do it when you're using another type of data. Okay. So SNS.countPlot, X is education, data equals to Bio. Let's take a look at this now. Shift enter to run. And voila, I should get an image. So I have an image here, which is a Python object, but I want an Excel value. So I'll change it to an Excel value because I want to see the visualization. All right. So currently you can see it is tiny inside the cell there. It's currently very tiny. You'll see this here. Click on it. And voila, I have my visualization. See it? See? It looks exactly like the way you have it in Python, doesn't it? Does it not look like how you have it in Python? Just the same way you visualize with Seaborn, you have it looking nice and pretty. Somebody say nice. Okay, Adekola. All right. It looks just the same way we have it in Python, just the same visualization, the same Seaborn. So it's very interesting to see how Excel has grown over the years. So you see, when I tell people start learning as early as possible because in the next couple of years, the number of tools some people will have to learn to get started, it's going to be ridiculous and it's going to be looking overwhelming. Now that it's just Excel, Power BI, Tableau, please learn it. All right. In the next couple of years, you will see several integrations, several things will be, combining together. So now is honestly the best time for you guys to join the tech space. As a data analyst, as a data scientist, it is not as technical as you think it is. And I'm going to tell you how it is. All right. So the last one I'm going to do, just the last one I'm going to do is the year. So I can see year, okay? So I want to know the year people joined the organization. So what year did we hire the most employees? Did we hire the most employees or whatever? All right. So what year did we hire the most employee? Very simple. I'm going to use the same count plot. Very, very equals to pi. All right. SNS dots. I'm going to use the same count plot to count how many employees we hired in that joining year. So I'm going to open the brackets. X equals to into quotation mark joining year. All right. Joining capital J and capital Y. Joining year. Okay. Close the quotation mark, comma. Data equals to bio. Okay. Or bio. Let's say bio. Okay. And I'll run it. Shift enter or control enter. Sorry. And let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. It's busy at the moment. Completed and Excel value is going to show very tiny over here for a start. And I can come here, click on it, and it gives me my visualization. So now off the roof, I can now do my exploratory data analysis in Excel. I can do my exploratory data analysis in Excel. All right, so what is asking will be nice to see machine learning for prediction in Excel. Honestly speaking, I won't lie to you. But you see, it's still in preview. Okay, still in preview. So a lot of things are still they're still working on it. So a lot of people, a lot of communities, as they are building communities in terms of what can be done, how can it be implemented, best practice, and so on and so forth. So this is still it's still in beta phase, like I said earlier at the start of the session. So you see all those exploratory data analysis that you would do in Python, you can now do it in Excel. You can even do it in Excel, not just Excel. You could do it in Excel. So if you have Excel in the future, you'll see you start to do all that. So now you can actually start with this. See, you can see that you hired the most employees in 2017. All right, in 2017. And you can now start to ask more questions like, this bachelor's degree, when did we start to hire more of bachelor's degree? You might be surprised that you started employing more. Was 2018. And you've been hiring PhD and masters for a start. Maybe that was the entry requirement. You must have a master's, you must have a PhD. But maybe that's what you're doing in 2012, 2013. Or maybe of recent, you've seen that, oh, the market is now vast, okay? It's difficult for you to land a master's or a PhD. You have to pay more. So now you're now branching out to BSs. I remember back then, Big Fours in Nigeria never used to look at 2-1, 2-2. All right? It was first class and first class and 2-1, sorry. They never used to look at 2-1. But now they're very inclusive. 2-1. If you even have what they call it, whatever you have in whatever school you went to is not even criteria anymore. They will take you. Do you understand? So it might be those kind of, and you want to explore the data to tell a story. When did you start to hire more PhD individuals? When did you start hiring more of masters? What payment category, what gender? There are so many explorations you can do. And now the good thing about this is you can now do all those exploratory data analysis in Excel using Python. All right. So, anyways, this is where we're going to draw the curtain on our exploration. So I would want you guys to try your hands on this, please. Okay. I would honestly want you. Excel is the bomb. Oh my God. Sorry, Excel. All right. Excel. Yeah. Excel is the bomb. Excel. All right. So you see, Excel is actually a very fantastic tool if you know how to use it. But now, the key thing is, a lot of people are now saying that, what tools do I need to learn to become a data analyst or a data scientist? How do I start? If you mean that this is wonderful, this is beautiful, this doesn't look too technical. How can I start? How do I begin? What's the first thing? If you mean that, what do I do to get started? That's where we now, let's talk about which of these career paths, looking at what we did today, we use Excel. Usually, ideally, should use for data analytics, all right? And maybe a little bit of data science. But now they're incorporating data science activities, Python programming inside of Excel. Now, let me ask you this question. Which of these career paths would you be interested in? Data analytics or data science? Which of these two? HR data analyst, fantastic, Pauline, that's beautiful. Leonard, data analytics. Gideon, full stack data science. How do I start, Shay? Don't worry, I would explain everything in the next maybe 30 minutes ridiculously. Okay, 30 minutes. Okay, data analytics. I have a lot of data analysts in the house, which is good. All right. So, yes. All right. So, you see, these are the two career paths that we are going to be exploring today. But now the key question is, what is the difference between these two career paths? What is the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist? Since I started facilitating in the tech space, okay, this is the most asked question. The difference between a data analyst and a data scientist. All right, money analytics, Adekola, I love that. So I'm going to be explaining the difference between data analytics and data science based on three spectrums. All right. I'm going to be explaining the difference between data analytics and data science based on three spectrums, which are the scope of analytics, first, the type of data that they deal with, second, and the third one is technology. Technology. All right. So let's talk about scope of analytics, first of all. Now, as a data analyst, and I want you guys to listen to this, okay? As a data analyst, you are required to do two major types of analytics, which is descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. All right. Now, descriptive analytics is answering one critical question. Okay. Give me a second. I'm going to get my pen so you can see this. All right. All right. So you see, descriptive analytics is answering one question. You see, when we did our Excel, using Python and Excel, you see, we answer questions. All right. How many employees, how many days, how many days. Basically, we're answering the question of what happened. What happened? Descriptive analytics. So as a data analyst, you're required to perform what we call descriptive analytics. Answering questions around what happened. So how many employees do we have? How many male? How many female? What was our total sales for last month? Oh, we generated 500 million. All right. First quarter, how much did you generate? Basically, you're answering questions around what happened. All right. So any form of analysis that just involves you summarizing the data, how many employees, how many are male and female, how many customers did you generate last month, so on and so forth. Basically answering the question of what happened. Now, the next part of it is, why did that thing happen? That's what we call diagnostic analytics. So you're not answering more questions around, why did it happen? So you see, as a data analyst, you're building a lot of dashboards. You're doing dashboarding. You're doing a lot of reporting. So that's what you say reporting. So meaning that you're just tracking certain KPIs. You're building a dashboard to tell a story on what happened and why that particular thing happened. All right. So you see people doing dashboard, and you see on that dashboard, you can click on slices, you can filter, you can do things together in order for you to come up with, a story about what happened last month and why it happened. So basically looking at a typical scenario, let's say last month we generated 500 million, all right? We generated 500 million. That's what happened. Last month, we generated 500 million. That is what happened. Now we need to figure out why and how did we generate that amount of money? Because the moment we know how we generated 500 million, how we rinse and repeat. Do you understand that same process or that particular or improve on what we did in order for us to either earn 500 million or get more than 500 million? So you see, that's where the role of a data analyst comes in, answering just two critical questions: what happened and why did it happen? And now with the role of a data scientist is a bit more, is different. Okay. So with the role of a data scientist, you are answering three questions. Three questions. The data scientist will answer a question of what happened, why did it happen, and what will happen. So you know what happened past. You know what happened last month, last quarter, last year, last 2 years, 3 years ago. You know what happened. You know why that thing happened. Now the next thing is what will happen? Prediction, predictive analytics. What will likely happen in the future? So that's where a data scientist is separated from a data analyst. So a data scientist is required to do more statistical analysis, more, machine learning in order for them to explore, in order for them to forecast, okay, or extrapolate to find out what is likely going to happen in the future, all right, predictions. So that's the two, in terms of the scope of analytics, this is what separates a data scientist from a data analyst. So that's one thing. That's one I've answered your question. If you've ever asked, the other part of it is the type of data that they deal with on a day-to-day. So the data analyst will work majorly with what we call structured data. Structured. Structured data. So a data analyst will work with data that is structured, just like we have it inside of Excel. So this is the structured data. This is what we call a structured data. It has rows, row 1, row 2, row 3, and we have columns. Okay, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, so on and so forth. So it has rows and columns. So anywhere you see data set that has what you call columns, all right, your rows, I mean, all right, when it has columns, okay, it is called structured data. So a data analyst works majorly with structured data, okay? Whereas a data scientist works with both structured data and unstructured data. Unstructured. So now unstructured data are basically data that cannot fit into rows and columns, right? Data scientists work with what we call unstructured data, and they are data points that cannot fit into rows and columns. Take, for example, picture. So you take a picture on your phone, okay? Can you put it inside a table? Can you put it inside an Excel table? Or can you put it in Excel, all right, and put it into rows and columns? Your picture ideally does not fit a table. So that's what we call an unstructured data. Secondly, music, a music file, an audio file, or a voice note, or a tweet on Twitter, on X, for example, on X, no more Twitter. So when you go on Twitter and you tweet, that's a text. It's not, you can't put it into rows and column. All right, you upload a video on Instagram, okay? You can't put that video into rows and columns. That's unstructured data. So a data scientist is more versatile working with unstructured data, whereas the data analyst only works with structured. The data scientist will work with both structured and unstructured, or rather, the data scientist knows how to convert structured data into, and you know that to convert unstructured data into structured data. So that's the job of a data scientist. You know how to manipulate data from unstructured into structured. So you see a picture, there's a way you can work with it in a structured manner. All right, you can analyze a picture. All right, you can do facial recognition. You can work with, NLP, natural language processing, so on and so forth. All right. So the next thing is the technology, the tools that they use is another thing that separates both career paths. So a data analyst should be good with problem solving for a fact, okay? Problem solving has to be good with Excel, Power BI, Tableau, okay? SQL, Microsoft Fabrics, and ChatGPT for analytics, okay? So the reason why we're doing all these things, you see, one thing that really keeps us above every other counterpart or any other person that offers any form of tech training program is how we are always in tune with what is happening in the industry. So our training program is everly evolving. So the way you come in last month, you would likely see something new based on what's happening in the industry. Excel, Python and Excel just literally came out just a couple of weeks ago, and we're already offering it as part of services that we are using to train people. So you see, as a data analyst, these are the tools that you're going to work with. You're going to work with. First thing is problem solving. You have to be very good with problem solving. Next is Microsoft Excel for analytics. Okay. The next is Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Microsoft Fabrics, which is also a very new application. And you have ChatGPT, which is an AI application that you could use to make your work faster as a data analyst. Okay. Now, as a data scientist, what tool would you work with? You have statistics, you have Excel, because Excel is very good, for analytics, for analysis and predictions and so on and so forth. All right. So you work with Excel, SQL, which is structured query language, in order for you to work with database. So you see the two of them exist. All right. So SQL, you see they're both SQL. So it's structured query language. So majority of the time, people think that data is stored in Excel. All right. Data is actually stored in a database. Every organization stores their data in a database. It could be a cloud platform like AWS, Azure, or GCP, Google Cloud Platform, or it could be on-premise, SQL Server, okay, PostgreSQL, MySQL, and so on and so forth. So it could be on-premise, or it could be what? It could be cloud, okay, regardless, but data is being stored in any of these platforms, all right? So how do you drag data out of the database? That's the key question. You use SQL to make this extraction, to get data out of the database. So you need to be good with SQL. Either as a data analyst or a data scientist, you need to be good with SQL. All right. So for a data scientist, you get to work with Excel, SQL, Tableau, Microsoft Fabrics. You get to work with Pandas. You get to work with Python, Anaconda, and ChatGPT. So these are the key distinctions between a data analyst and a data scientist. The scope of analytics, in terms of scope, the data scientist does more in terms of predictive analytics. In terms of type of data, they work with both structured and unstructured data. And technologies, these are the technologies they get to work with. Okay, change your slides to the tools. Okay. Now, let's talk about key learning areas, okay? Key learning areas. So for our data analytics training program, we're going to teach you all the things you need to know in order for you to become a data analyst. Like I said, our curriculum is absolutely up to date to get you a job, a role within the data analyst, within any company, any organization you find yourself in the world. So even if you're in Jamaica, you're in Canada, you are in France, you're in Germany, you are in Nigeria, you are anywhere across Africa, you're anywhere in the world. Our curriculum is designed in order for you to get you started as a data analyst. First of all, you're going to learn problem solving. So there are different ways you solve a problem. So you see that data that we have, all right? Before you tackle it, you need to understand the business problem, all right? How do you take that business problem and break it into chunks for you to start your analysis? Okay, so you need to be a good problem solver. All right. The next thing is Microsoft Excel, like we discussed today already. Excel is a versatile tool that you would use on a day-to-day as a data analyst in any organization. I mentioned on the start of the session that majority of our guys that have gone on to get jobs across the world got their job based on their Excel skills. All right. We talked about SQL. You're going to work with SQL, how to extract data from databases, how to create a database, how to insert into the database, and so much more. All right. You're going to work with Power BI, business intelligence tool, in order for you to, build complex analytics, build automated pipelines, so on and so forth. All right. You're going to work with Tableau for data analysis, data visualization. You're going to, one thing that most people don't understand is data storytelling. You need to be able to tell a story with your data. So you see, when we did that small work today, when we did this work, you see, started with bachelor's, I started with education. I moved into year, all right? And I wanted to find out what year did we hire the most employee, either bachelor's, master's, or PhD. So, that's data storytelling. You start to tell a story, all right? Your insight. The whole idea for you doing all this work, doing all the visualization, is to be able to tell a detailed story about the data, all right? And people lack this, and that's why it's part of one of the key things that will teach you how you can tell a story with your data. All right, next thing is ChatGPT for analytics. We'll teach you how to leverage AI. we're still going to be working with we're still going to be having quite a number of other master classes that will show you how to use AI as a data analyst. All right. Last but not the least, we're going to talk about Microsoft Fabrics. So Microsoft Fabrics is part of the curriculum that you will get to learn if you go through the program. Okay. So the average salary of a data analyst in the UK is £40,000. The average salary of a data analyst in Canada is 64,000 Canadian dollars. And in the US, it is $72,000. You can become a data analyst in 4 months. All right. The learning time is for 3 months, and you get 1 month free internship. You get 1 month free internship. Okay. So the training program is for 4 months. You learn for 3 months, but you work on projects, you learn with an instructor in class. I'll talk more about the learning process. But basically it's for 3 months, all right, where you get to learn problem solving, Excel, SQL, Tableau, Power BI, data storytelling, ChatGPT, Microsoft Fabrics will be taught within 3 months. All right. Instructor led, okay, working on real life projects. Then you get an internship, which is for free, virtual internship for free, and you get to do that for another 1 month. Okay, so in total, it sums up to 4 months of learning. Okay, now the class schedule is on weekends. So as working professionals, these classes are scheduled to happen on the weekends, Saturday. Okay. So Saturday morning, we have the morning session for the guys in West Africa or that uses the West African time. So if you're in Europe, anywhere in Europe, you're in the UK, you're in Ireland, you're in Germany, you're in France, we are going to be using the morning time, okay, which is West African time, which is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. All right. So if you want to go with the data analytics, the classes run in the morning and in the evening. So looking at on Saturday, the morning session is by 11 to 2 p.m. West African time, and evening for the guys in the US, in Canada, all right, or under the Eastern Standard Time, it will be the morning for you. It's going to be in the morning for you, or it's going to be for in the evening in West African time. So you'll see that it's still up for anybody across the world. So you can join any of the session, either the morning session or the evening session. You don't have to be in Canada to join the morning session. You don't have to be in Nigeria to join the morning session. You could choose anyone that really resonates with you. If you're more of an evening person, you can join the evening class. But essentially, the morning and the evening classes is for the morning classes for guys in West African time, Nigeria, in Africa, and across the West African time, okay? UK, Ireland, Germany, and other countries in Europe. While the evening class is still up towards guys in Canada, in the US. So you are doing your training program in the morning, your own time. All right. While on Sunday, we have self-paced videos, self-paced watch me do it videos. These are more practical videos that would drive more on what we did in the practical class. All right. So I'll show you everything as we go on. Don't worry. I'm going to show you every single thing. So essentially, what you will learn as a data analyst, problem solving, Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, data storytelling, ChatGPT for analytics, and Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. Now, what about data science? I'm sure you guys are asking questions around data science. Data science, on the other hand, is a bit different. Okay, for data science, the first thing you need to learn is statistics. So statistics that we've learned, you either learned in secondary school or university, one way or the other. We're going to revisit it now, not in the theoretical sense, but in the practical sense. So all the things like measure of central tendency, mean, median, mode, all right, standard deviation, variance. It's interesting. The reason why a lot of people will be scared of that is because they crammed. You crammed the school. You crammed the past. All right. You really don't understand. Back then they'll say, why the X? Look for X. Why am I looking for X? You never knew the reason. The reason is they never told us the reasons why we needed to do it. And that's the reason why we'll be doing this in Excel in statistics. We'll be showing you the why you need to do this in statistics. Do you understand? So, and that's the best way you learn. You learn through practicals, you learn through real life scenarios. If you put yourself in the scenario, and that's the way we teach the statistics class. So you're going to start with statistics. You're going to be very comfortable with several key, concepts: measure of central tendency, the central limit theorem, the measure of symmetry, so on and so forth, hypothesis testing, ANOVA, so on and so forth. That's what we're doing in statistics. Thereafter, we'll move into Excel. So use Excel for data analytics, predictive analytics, and forecasting. So a lot of people when I asked that question at the start, a lot of people feel Excel is underrated. But guess what? One of the roles I did with one of the largest logistic company in Europe, okay, I built a forecasting tool using Excel. And guess what? Before I joined the organization, they used to forecast. Their forecast accuracy at best was 75%. In terms of forecast accuracy, that's the mean absolute percent error, was 75%. All right. And me using Excel to do a particular forecast using linear regression, incorporating some other functionalities, seasonality, trends, and all that, I was able to improve it from that 75% to 95% accuracy. All right. So you see, a lot of people feel like Excel is underrated, and that's because they have a very limited view of what they think Excel can do. Excel is a very powerful tool. So you get to explore all that in the data science class where you use Excel for predictions and all that. Tableau, you get to work with Tableau for data analytics and predictive analytics. All right. So you do a little bit of predictions using Tableau. Thereafter, you work with SQL, you go into Python, you go into exploratory data analysis. So some of the things we did in Excel, you will do it with Python. All right, because that's still what you're going to be working with. So, and the good thing about it is once you learn it in Python, once you learn Python within your Python Anaconda, you learn Python within Anaconda, you can translate that knowledge to what we did today. All right, using it in Excel. So once it goes blown, it goes full, every Excel has Python embedded, you can start to use Python within Excel. Okay. So you're going to learn Python for exploratory data analysis, machine learning, and computer vision. Okay. So you're going to be working on very, very interesting project. And I'm going to show you the project as we go on. All right. Okay. So you are going to work with Python, building, you work with exploratory data analysis, machine learning, computer vision, and so on. Now, in terms of average salary, the average salary of a data scientist in the UK is £50,000. In Canada, it is 94,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, is 121 US dollars. Six figures. I'm sure you get excited about that. Six figures in the US. Okay. Now you can become a data scientist in 4 months. Also, you're going to be learning for 3 months plus. So it's 3 months plus. It's not going to be for 4 months. It's not going to. It's 3 months plus. So it's roughly above 12 weeks. Just about 13, 14 weeks. Okay. So 3 months plus, and you have internship for 1 month. So in total, it's going to be about 4 months, 4 months plus. Okay. So the training program is for 4 months plus for data science. You get to learn statistics, Excel for analytics, for forecasting, for predictive analytics. You get to work with Tableau for data analytics and predictive analytics. You get to work with SQL, Python for exploratory data analysis, machine learning, supervised and unsupervised learning. You will learn both of them. And you will get to work with computer vision. All right. So the classes are very similar to the data science class. Okay. Data science class, where you will work with, you have your live classes on Saturday morning and the evening session. So the morning session is designed for West Africa, for guys in West Africa. All right. So, or if you belong within that West African time. So if you're in the UK, US, UK, Ireland, Germany, France, Nigeria, Ghana, you're in Africa, you would fall into the morning session between 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And if you're in Canada or in the US, you can go for the evening session between 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. That will be your morning, your time. That will be the same time, 11 to 2 p.m. your time, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so that's for the evening session is still for the guys in Canada. So if you're in Canada, you can also join the program. Or you're in the US, you can also join the program. So Sundays are for self-paced practical video. I'm going to show you the videos once I'm done with it. I'm going to show you the videos so you see exactly what you've been working with. The best way you learn is by you working on real life projects. Okay. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. All right, different career paths. And this is one thing people don't understand. They feel like a data analyst can only work as a data analyst. Do you understand? So looking at the program, these are some of the career paths you can actually follow through. Some, not all, some of the career paths. So for data analytics, okay, data analytics will be data analyst. You can work as a data analyst. You can work as a marketing analyst, product analyst, operations analyst, supply chain analyst, business intelligence, sales analyst, and logistics analyst. Now, of this, currently, my own personal experience, I've worked as a supply chain analyst. I've worked as a logistics analyst. I've worked as a product analyst. I've worked as a data analyst. Okay, that's my own just working, moving from one role to the other as a consultant or as a full-time employee, part-time. I've worked across this, and that's the beauty. All right. So you don't need to. Sometimes you don't even need to be the expert. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be good with analytics. As long as you can use a tool and you understand the industry, you can always find a way to enter. All right. So as a data analyst, or you go to the data analytics training program, these are just some. We have a document of all the roles you can actually apply to as a data analyst. Do you understand? There are quite a number of them. On the flip side, data scientists, the same thing. All right. The key thing you guys don't, most people don't understand is data analytics, data science are technical, they are skills. Okay. These are skills that you can use in any domain. So data science, if you go through the full stack data science program, you can work as a data scientist, you can work as a data analyst, a sales analyst, supply chain analyst, fraud analyst, because you're going to be predicting fraudulent transactions or fraudulent claims, so on and so forth. So you can work as a fraud analyst, pricing analyst, so you can predict will price increase or price reduce. So you can do all those kind of predictions in price, pricing analysts. There are quite a number of them in oil and gas industry, energy sector. So take, for example, you're working with, Ikeja Electric, or you're working with Sahara. You want to know when the price is likely, what will be the demand in the future. Do you understand? And so on and so forth. All right. Private analyst is very good for guys in oil and gas, energy, investment banking, so on and so forth. They do all that kind of analytics and all that. Market research analysts, that's a very wide, every industry needs a market research analyst in order for them to know what's happening in the industry and how they can position themselves. So you can work as a market research analyst. You could also do logistics analyst, so on. So there are quite a number of roles you can actually apply to upon going through the training program. And we are literally going to hold your hands and guide you through the process. Like I said, the reason why we started analytics is not just to train people, it's to get more. And I think people people mix it up. It's not to just train you. The idea is to unhold you and get you into the tech role. Now, let me explain something to you. Why should you train with analytics, not any other person? Why should you train with analytics? So now let's talk about it. These are the key selling areas. Okay. Up-to-date curriculum is the first thing off the list. Up-to-date curriculum. We are currently in the industry, all right? We are currently in this hands-on practical, working day to day with organizations in the UK, US, Canada, back home in Nigeria, in Africa, and so on. So we know what is attainable. We know what to be anytime, every project that we work on is what we rejig, is what we adjust into learning experience for our students. All right. So you're going to be working with up-to-date curriculum on all the projects, on all the things you're going to be working with. Secondly, industry experts with hands-on experience. You're not going to be working with somebody that has not worked in the industry. You're going to be working with people that have experience in the industry. Okay. So all the case studies, all the assignments, all the projects you're going to work on, they are going to be handled and reviewed by people that have industry experience. Next is blended training delivery to accommodate anyone. Because over the time, you get people say that, oh, I am a slow learner. I learn very slowly. I don't like rushing. That's why we have the blended approach to learning. So you have the watch me do it videos. That's the videos that will be given to you on Sunday. And you have the live classes on Saturday. So you see, you have a mixture of live classes and recorded, the watch me do it video, the bite-sized videos. I'm going to show you that in a second. So you see, if you don't get everything in class, the classes are recorded. You get that recording. You also get bite-sized video that would explain, in a more detailed manner what you did the previous week. So you see, it's even if you're a slow learner, you have Monday to Friday to yourself to self-pace, to watch at your own pace, do your assignment, do your project. Then you have the live classes on Saturday. Then you have the bite-sized videos, the watch me do it videos that allows you to that explains further or that gives you more practical knowledge on what you're doing. So you have that blended training delivery that basically accommodates everybody. Slow learner, fast learner, everybody's moving at the same pace. All right. Then the next thing is additional employability services. Additional employability services that comes for free. Just you being with analytics, you get this automatic for free. Do you understand? So you see, all these combined together is what will make you a master data analyst or a master data scientist. So you have the updated curriculum, you get to work with industry experts, you get to work with a blended training delivery, and you get additional employability services. Now, I know some people will still be saying, what is this additional employability services? Let's talk more about that. Now, you go through the training program, you get your CV reviewed. A lot of people have very bad CV, right? I was taking a look at one of the prospective participants. The person said, "Oh, I have an interview coming up." I said, "Oh, send me your CV." And I was, all right. I saw the CV and I was like, how did you even get somebody to call you with the CV? He said he has been applying for almost a year. All right. Using that same CV. All right. And he was actually very lucky that he knows people working in the organization and it was actually a referral. It wasn't that he applied for a job. But referral, how often do you get referral unless you know somebody in the organization, in which he did? So, and this guy is based in Canada. All right. He had a very, very terrible CV. So you see, most people feel like they have CV, all right? And a CV is really your gateway to landing your job, honestly speaking. All right. Your CV is your gateway to landing your first job in tech. So if you have a bad CV, or if you don't like, just take your CV as your face. Okay? Just take your CV as your face. So if you're going out, you are going for a date, or you're going to church, you're going to the mosque, you're going for an event, what do? You trim up. You have a shade, you have your what do you call this? Your fade. You have your fade. If you're a lady, you do your makeup, you do everything, you look nice. But your CV is not nice. All right. So there's a way your CV should be structured. All right. There's a way you will need to make your CV look attractive to a prospective client, to a prospective employer, recruiter. Do you understand? So even in the industry, we have what we call ATS. All right. I'm sure you guys have heard of ATS. Does anybody know what ATS stands for? Let me see. Does anybody know what ATS stands for? ATS, okay, nobody. Application tracking software. Okay, application tracking software or system. So maybe say system software, almost the same. So basically, you see sometimes you apply for a job and immediately you apply for the job, you get rejection immediately. Has it happened to anybody before? Let me see. People that are in my shoes, that were in my shoes also. All right. Immediately you send the application, immediately you just press enter like this. Immediately you get rejection email. You now be like, is somebody waiting for me to apply for my job to reject it? All right. It happens to all of us. It has happened to us. It will still happen sometimes if you don't know how to tailor your CV. So application tracking software is an automated system. So the recruiter would have put in the requirements that they're looking for. So once you apply and you put in your CV, you send it forward, the system is going to scan through your CV. All right. And if it doesn't see those things in your CV, voila, you get rejection email. Do you understand? Immediately. And that's what we call the application tracking software. So if you don't have a standard CV, you are already at a disadvantage. So you see all those fancy CV that you go on PowerPoint to design your CV. Ladies and gentlemen, please destroy that CV. If there's a way you can burn your CV on your system, all right, you can create fire, all right, on your system and burn that CV, please burn it. All those fancy design is crap. Do you understand? You don't need it. So it's likely going to be another hindrance to why people don't get jobs. So your CV doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be attractive. If you're a graphic designer, that's a different game entirely. Essentially, Your CV has to be good, and we will help you do that. That's our job. We'll work with you to get your CV standardized for whatever region you are. Okay. LinkedIn optimization. If you apply for a job and the link and the recruiter, okay, the most likely 95% sure the recruiter is still going to check you out on LinkedIn. So they have this feature, recruiter, because I've worked with internal recruitment team with different organizations I've worked with. The recruiter have the paid platform whereby they can view people's platform without you seeing that they viewed your profile. All right. So most likely they go to your profile to look at your LinkedIn profile. Okay, that's just the first part. The second part is if a recruiter is looking for a data analyst or a data scientist or a logistics, supply chain, whatever analyst they're looking for, will your CV appear with your LinkedIn profile? If they go on LinkedIn and they type in for that, they're looking for experienced, data analyst, data scientist. Will your profile really appear? All right. These are the key things you need to ask yourself. Now, if LinkedIn optimization works like search engine optimization. All right. So if you go on Google and you type in the best data training program in the world, you will see analytics is number one. How did you do that? Search engine. All right. I'm just joking. But we'll get there someday. All right. We're making our head towards that. But essentially, LinkedIn is almost like that. So if a recruiter is looking for a data analyst, take for example the guy in Brazil, you put data analyst, will your profile appear for the recruiter to say this guy is an experienced data analyst? All right. So that's LinkedIn optimization. Output optimization is for freelancers. So if you want to work by yourself, you want to do freelance gigs, we're going to work with you to, optimize your Upwork profile. Okay, navigating the job market is something that we hold dear in our mind, and that's because majority of the people that come to the platform are newbies, never worked before, or either they've never worked before, or they don't have any prior experience in the tech space. Now, navigating the job market essentially is designed to tell you where you can get jobs. And I'm going to show you I'm going to show you some places where you can get remote jobs. I'm going to do that in 5 minutes or thereabout. Navigating the job market. Where can you get this job? You see a lot of people on Twitter say I work remotely. You go on LinkedIn, I work remotely. I work for a firm in the US. I'm in Nigeria. We have a ton of them within 10 Analytics. All right. And how do we do this? How did we get to that level? We have an internal team that works with you navigating the job market in the US, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Dubai, so on and so forth, where you can get remote opportunities. So how do you navigate the job market? We're going to help you with that. Okay, recommendation and reference letter. We'll provide you with recommendation and reference letter. So all the things you need. So you apply for a job, the recruiter needs a recommendation letter. We will give you a recommendation letter. Even regardless if you have experience, you don't have experience, we'll give you the recommendation and reference letter. So majority of the recruiters out there are looking to back up your experience. So even if you don't have experience and you've tailored yourself as someone that has experience, all right, we would back up your application process by providing you with a recommendation or a reference letter. We write a ton of reference letters for our participants almost every other day. Okay, so we'll do that for you. And even if you apply for a master's, a PhD, majority of these universities are also looking for you to have, if not an hands-on experience, but a learning experience. So we'd also provide that with you. Now, the last but not the least, job and interview preparation. So after you've navigated the job market, okay, and you land an interview, we will prepare you for the interview. All right, we're going to prepare you for the interview. So that's part of the things we do. We have weekly mentorship sessions. Weekly mentorship session. This is where we now bring industry experts to come and speak to you on how they got started, the challenges they went through, in order for you not to go through that same challenges. All right. So weekly mentorship sessions where we bring in experts within the industry, experienced data analysts, experienced data scientists, experienced data business analysts, so on and so forth. We bring them in order for you to see how a day in the life of an analyst is, and the issues they went through, what they need to, what advice they would advise new beginners and all that. So that's the mentorship session. Last but not the least is on the job support. So you get a job as a data analyst or a data scientist, and the first task they give to you, you don't know how to do it. What happens? We don't leave you alone. Okay. You can always reach out to us any point in time, and we will work with you on the job support, provide for free. Everything here is free of charge. All right. Everything here is free. It comes for free. Okay, so on the job support, we provide you with you in order for you to get started, in order for you to become a superstar in your desired role. Okay. Now, the internship program is for 1 month for both the data analytics training program and the data science training program. Um, you can add it to your CV as an experience. The entire learning experience with analytics, you can add it to your CV. All right. So you can claim experience from analytics. So you could claim that you have worked with analytics as a data analyst or a data scientist. So those are like the add-ons you get from going through the training program. 1 month additional to own your skills. You get to work with six more projects added to your portfolio. So majority of the recruiters out there are looking for your projects. Where do you have a GitHub account? Do you have your LinkedIn profile where you have your projects showcased and so on and so forth? So you're going to be working on 6 additional projects and add it to your portfolio. Project review with an expert. Like I said, we're working with a pool of experts across the industry. I want to share some of their profile with you. Okay. So project review with an expert, you get to review all the projects you worked during the internship. You have you have an expert view of what you did correct or what you did wrong or how it is attainable. So you're gaining experience, by working on real life projects. Okay. Now, some of the projects you get to work on, all right. So you see, past, and like I said, majority all the projects that we work with that you're going to learn with are projects that we have worked on. So these are real life scenarios, okay, that we have manipulated, okay, for your learning experience. All right. So it's real life case studies. You see, Castro Technology Workplace is a real business. All right. That we've used analytics, we deployed analytics for that particular for the workplace sports facility. Okay. And we used it in training participants. All right. So the actual case studies, Nestle product analytics, another real case study, online food delivery preferences, mainland region. So this has been adjusted to Lagos, Nigeria. Okay. So some of the other projects you work on, fraudulent transaction in a bank, employee attrition in IBM, data science salaries, Redux Airlines, all right, and Legacies Group. These are some of the case studies you'll get to work on, during the training program. And these are very interesting. This is just some, like I said, some. There are still more, and I'm going to show you some of them as we go on. All right, so you can get different opportunities to work as a freelancer or as a remote opportunity. As we go, maybe as we proceed, I'm going to show you how you can actually land. Show you some places you can actually get remote opportunity. So some of these places: LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Upwork, Wellfound, Indeed, Remote.co, Built-in. If you're in the UK, US. Houston is a very good place for you to get remote opportunity. If you're in Nigeria looking to get a job in the US, Built-in is also very good. Glassdoor, fantastic place. I'm going to show you all this. Don't worry. Okay. I'm still going to show you every single thing. Okay. I'm not going to hide any information from you. All right. So meet some of your facilitators. My name is Ifemena Ipro, one of the facilitators. SL Gena. All right. Braiba is also going to be one of your facilitators, experienced data scientist. Okay. Toma also one of your facilitators. Obina is based off in Canada, is currently a data engineer, used to be a data scientist with one of the top banks in Nigeria, but currently relocated to Canada and currently works as a data engineer. He's going to be part of the faculty that will be working with you. Ibrahim Animation, machine learning engineer with Bryant Dental UK, experienced data scientist. Now he's using data science within the medical space. So he's an experienced medical doctor and learned data science and currently uses it in the medical space. Abdurrahman Wura is the data science consultant with the Big Four consulting firm in the UK. All right. Has deployed AI, data science, innovative ideas across different industries, different businesses in the UK. All right. Chinazam is a data analyst, okay, experienced data analyst with one of the largest logistics company in Ireland and in Europe at large. Okay. So that's where he works Emmanuel is a lead data and insight analyst with Softcom, experienced data analyst that would also be put hand holding you and guide you through your journey into the tech space. Some of the projects you work on, I'll see show this as we go on. This is some of the data science projects you get to work on. This is, you can see the analytics and detection program, analytics post detection program. This is all data science activities using data science to detect object detection, face detection, to hand detection, to post detection. You see somebody will be dancing. Yeah, you can see her, she's dancing now. Okay. All right. And it's detecting every single movement she's making. You can see how she's moving her hand also. She's detected the application is detecting her hand. So these are some of our participants, and you see the work they are doing or the work they did. All right. So, anyways, we have the new cohort starting next month. Okay. The cost of the training program is £400 or 320,000 naira. Now, this is the actual cost of the training program. But like I said, I have a special offer for you guys that wait to the end of the session. So I said, if you wait to the end of the session, I have a special offer for you, just you, no other person. Okay. So let's take a look. A special offer is only for the first 20 people to register. All right. First 20 people to register. First 20 people. All right. First 20 people to work off. So we have a discount. All right. So rather than paying £400, okay, you can actually pay £300. You can actually pay £300. And you can pay in two installments of £200 and £100. Now, the second installment comes 1 month into the program. 1 month. The second installment comes 1 month into the program. So rather than paying £400, you're paying £300, and you can pay in two installments, £200 for the first, and the second one is £100, which comes 1 month into the program. And if you want to pay in naira, you could also pay 270,000 naira, and you can pay in two installments. You can pay as a whole, or you can pay in two installments of 180 and 90,000 naira. So you can pay 180 to get registered for the first payment, then the 90,000 comes 1 month into the training program. Now, if you're paying in USD and Canadian dollars, it is 400 USD and it is 500 Canadian dollars, and you can still pay in two installments. But the key thing here is only for the first 20 participants to register. It's only available for the first 20 participants to register. All right. So, you can click on the link here. The link is also is currently in the chat. So you have the main stack link that you can click on. And once you click on it, you would see all the information that you're looking for. So this is the analytics enrollment details. So once you click on it, you can get access to all the program brochures. Okay. So you can say business analysis. So currently, if you're interested in data analytics, for example, you can click on this to view the brochure. You can download it here. It's free of charge. You can download the materials, you can download everything. If it's the data science curriculum you're looking for, you can get it here. Click on the download icon and you get it downloaded. So it tells you everything you're going to be learning in detail. So the brochure provides a detailed approach or a detailed learning, learning content. But essentially, please don't forget it's only available. The discount is only available for the first 20 people to register. Now, once you make a payment, once you want to make payment in Naira, you can come here to make your full or first part payment. So once you click on this, it's going to take you to Paystack, okay, for you to make your payment. So you can either pay 180K to secure your position, your first payment, or you can pay in full. So if you're looking at data analytics, for example, you click on data analytics and you can select if you want to pay full payment or you want to pay part payment. So full payment is 270,000. Like I said, is a discount available for the first 20 people to register. So the moment we get first 20 people, the application is going to revert, okay, and it's going to revert to the original price of £400, okay, which is 320,000 naira equivalent, okay. So that's exactly. So please, a lot of people say, oh, if you may not attend your session, I wanted to be a part of the program. I can see that it's no more, it's only available for the first 20 people to register. All right. So these are the things that you need. Same thing with data science, the full stack data science and machine learning program. So you can see that full program, or you could pay part payment to secure your position, as a data analyst training program or the data science training program. All right. So quickly, Prima, you said X-Lade is it X-Lade?
Yes, it's on the call.
Okay, actually, so we have one of our participants that have gone through the training program that would like to speak to you guys, that would like to, share his own personal experience going through the training program. All right. So, actually, do you want to turn on your video and unmute yourself? And let's, come and share your own personal experience going through the curriculum. Yes, actually, yeah, can you, I can't hear you well, sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you, Femina. Good evening.
Okay, I can hear you now. Fantastic. It's good to see you again, yeah? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while. Good evening.
Yes, you go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I've been here for about an hour now listening to you, and I was so excited as always. From when we started listening to you in February this year to this time, it's always an excitement and it's always a blessing listening to hearing you teach about these things. Yeah, for the people on the call, my name is Benson Abu. Just like you're on the call today, I was on this call, similar call like this, in February towards the election also. Actually found out about Analytics on Twitter. I was scrolling through Twitter feed. I saw Analytics. Then I had already made up my mind. I wanted to do data science, but I was confused, data science or data analytics. So being in a call like this with a Femina just convinced me straight up that, okay, it's with analytics. They've explained all they want to do. I cannot confirm that they are going to do it, but I'd rather give it a try. So luckily, I was among the first 20 people that paid. I got the discount, joined the February cohort. And from the first week, I was super amazed, like super amazed. We were doing things in Excel, things I never thought I'd be doing. I remember making my first dashboard, applying slicers and just checking it out. Slicer is working well. I was like, wow. Last week, I never knew what this was. And 1 week in, I'm already building dashboard on the hotel reservation stuff. And from there, we just took it up from Excel through Tableau, through SQL, and then we went straight into Python, and it was a whole new world from there. Exploratory data analytics, down to machine learning models, and up to computer vision. I saw when you were showing those computer vision projects we did with identify a hand and pose detection. Yeah, I did that, and every time I play the video, I'm still amazed that I did this. And for just to summarize it, I didn't want to get a job. I didn't chase a job with it after completing the project and all. But I'm currently in the UK studying masters in data science and artificial intelligence. In February, when I started it, I was in Port Harcourt learning it. But right now, I'm speaking to you from Bournemouth, and I'm already doing things in class. And when I see how they are teaching it in class compared to what what analytics had done for me, I feel like I'm at an advantage to my course mate here. It's a 1-year master's program, but I've seen the curriculum, and it's similar to what I've already learned in analytics. And I believe that analytics have put me in an advantageous position to smash this course and get it done with. So yeah, my advice to everyone on this call today would be, you have heard from the best, and no one else than the best. Femina himself is the greatest teacher that I've ever taught me. So if you can't pay the price, pay your money, get it done with. You're never going to understand everything he has taught today, but just begin. Just begin one step at a time, week by week, month by month, and 2 months in, you look back and thank God that you did. So yeah, that has been it for me.
Amazing. It's good to hear that you're in Bournemouth, yeah? Is it Bournemouth or Bournemouth you say you're in?
Bournemouth University for data science and AI.
All right, fantastic. We have a lot of work here. Don't worry, we'll definitely work together. We're still together,
Yeah,
100%.
thank
All right.
you.
It's good to have you here. All right.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
finally schedule one day to come. Whenever I'm in Bournemouth here, I'll let you know so we can meet up.
Wow, I'll be so happy to see you, bro.
It'll be great to see you too. Thanks a lot for taking our time on your weekend on the Friday to come and speak to potential participants that are also looking to get started. Thanks a lot for taking our time. Appreciate that.
You're welcome, boss. You're welcome.
All right, appreciate it. All right, guys. So that's Bente, one of our participants, went through the training program, did fantastic work. I would look for his LinkedIn profile, and I would want you guys to connect with him. Okay, he's a very, very smart, very, very diligent, like very, very diligent. Okay, so you can see he's doing well for himself, and those are the things that will provide you all the education, all the opportunities that all the opportunities that you have that you're looking for to get started as a data analyst, as a data scientist. See what we did in class today, right? Just imagine what you would do in the next 3 months, what you will immerse yourself in the next 3 months of learning. All right. Plus the internship, 4 months. Okay. So you're looking at 3 months of learning, 1 month of internship, 4 months. Okay. So these prices are discounted price, every discounted prices. If we look at what is attainable in the industry at the moment. So you see, it's for the discount that we have running at the moment is only available for the first 20 people. All right. So bear in mind, if you click on the platform, you click on the main stack link, and you click on the main stack link and you don't get the fee, the discounted fee in the next couple of ideally by weekend, the end of the weekend, 20 slots are gone for data analytics and data science. So you want to lock in your own position as soon as possible and pay. All right. So if you're in Canada, you want to use PayPal, the PayPal is there. You could use Paystack, you could use PayPal. You could also pay directly into the account. So if you want to pay in Naira, you could use the Fidelity Bank account for 10 analytics. And if you want to use, if you want to pay directly in pounds, you have the Wise account. And if you want to pay directly to Fidelity Bank, all right, you could also pay directly to the Analytics Fidelity Bank account. Okay, so you can pay Naira directly with the direct transfer. All right. But once you make payment, guys, all right, you see the first thing you have here is to upload your receipts. So once you've made a payment, I can see some people are sending me messages about what to do when they make payment. Please click here to upload your full receipt. Click here. Once you've made payment, screenshot your receipt and upload. You see there's a link here that will take you to the Google form for you to fill in your receipt. Okay, to upload your receipt essentially. All right. So the last thing I'm going to show you is I'm just going to take the next 5 minutes to show you the platform. All right. I'm going to show you the platform so you see exactly what you get from the training program. Okay, so all classes are recorded. All the classes are recorded. Okay, and they all exist in the Google Classroom. So take for example, let's take a look at you see data analytics. All right, these are the people that started the month of September. That started this month September. So we have a course that started on the 7th of October. We have the program started on the 7th of October. Okay, so you want to lock in your space as early as possible. So you see in the Google Classroom, every class is, arranged in in the way it flows. Okay. So looking at it, you have the onboarding materials that onboard you, all the things you need to download, all the things you need to get installed, everything is provided for you. Every single detail is provided to you. So if you're using a MacBook, you hear a lot of people having issues with, Power BI on MacBook and stuff like that. We have materials that will get you started. Do you understand? Every single thing is provided to onboard you into the training program. And that's one of the reasons why we run, these early bird discounts to get people to register on time, all right, and get them, onboarded properly before the training program starts. Okay. So we have the onboarding call. So where we introduce to the platform the things you need to know, the things you need to understand, so on and so forth. Now, the first class is the problem solving class. The problem solving class that runs the first class you have is on problem solving. And you see, the recording is available for you to have access to. So you see, this is a recording. all right, and was handled by a very experienced professional in the industry. Okay, she has worked with KPMG in back of America. She's currently working with one of the Nike licensee dealership, okay, with Zelos. So she's a very experienced professional, very, very experienced. And she's good. She handles the problem solving class. So every class is recorded. Sorry, my internet is a bit slow. So that's why it's taking a bit of a second to load. But essentially, all right, all the classes are recorded. I'm just going to leave it rolling for a second, then I'll come back to it. So you see, these are the bite-sized videos. Okay, it's running already. These are you see this Excel, Microsoft Excel, watch me do it video. So it is WMDI. So you see all those basic concepts, you starting up Excel. Like I said, the course is blended. The training program we deliver a blended training curriculum, training learning experience. So you see, Excel, take for example, module one, all those basic things about what's a cell, what's a column, what is this, what is that, like what we did in class today, it could be handled separately. So you see all the materials, introduction to Excel, how to get into Excel, what is this, what is a column, what is a row, all that can be handled with bite-sized videos. So you see all these videos are available for you to watch. Bite-sized in the sense that, 15, 20 minutes, you're done with the videos, some of them 5 minutes, some of them 10 minutes. So very just brief videos that give you a brief introduction to what, um, hands-on practical experience to what Excel is all about. If it's a case study, it tells you, see, the modules, introduction to Excel, pay special, basic conditional formatting. So these videos provide you with a guidance. So once you've done that, once you're done with that particular bite-sized videos, all right, you see, the next class would be a live class, and a Microsoft Excel live class. Now, this Microsoft Excel live class is a practical live class. It's a case study based. It's case study based. Now, let's take a look at the case study. All right. So you see solution to case study. All right. So you see what you've learned in class today. What you learned using the Watch Me Do It videos. You come to class to work on a real life scenario. All right. And this is where we talk about using our actual experience to train our participants. Okay. So you see the class material. I'm just going to take you see the case study, Excel case study PDF. All right. So you see all those case studies, case study one, case study two, case study three. So we use case studies. So because you've done those videos, all right, we use those case studies, we use the knowledge you've learned. How do you now apply it in a business scenario, in your actual business? All right. How do you apply it? So you work in that, all right, and you see the solution. We also provided some solutions to you for you to, even though you have the live classes, so you see the class recording is there for you to have access to. I'm going to show you this. So you see, this is the next profile. All right, strategic planning professional, over 7 years experience, currently a senior FP&A, so financial planning and analysis with Zelos UK, authorized licensee of Nike. All right, she currently working. She's the management and leadership advisor with HBL, that is Harvard Business Review. All right, she currently has a master's. She has a master's degree in international business from University of Portsmouth, trained over 2,500 people. Prior experience, she's worked with Den Ulm in the UK, she's worked with KPMG, she's worked with Bank of America, she's worked with Laurus, developing partners, and so on and so forth. And she loved an interactive class. So she's the one that handles the training program for problem solving, very experienced. And these are the kind of professionals you get to work with the training program. Okay. So you see, these are, some of the, I'm just going to fast forward it so you can see, some of the things you do. You get to work with decision tree, decision or what we call issue tree, decision or issue tree. You get to work with 5 whys. You get to work with, CRIPS DM. You see CRIPS DM framework, that's cross-industry standard for process, cross-industry standard process for data mining. Then you have root cause analysis, so on and so forth. So those are the things you do with problem solving class. So this is data analytics anyways, all right? So you go through Excel, you have the class recorded, every class is recorded, and you can see how everything is, arranged in order. So let's take a look at data science, for example. Like data science, also the same code, that's the September code that literally just started. And you will see some of the things that these guys are doing already in class. All right. So you see, it's almost the same process. You have the onboarding skills assessment session for you to assess yourself for a start, where you belong. All right. Tunde, please upload. Don't send it here. Upload it. Sorry. So upload it today. Upload it on the. Just click the link. Barima, do you want to paste the link one more time? So once you click on the link, all right. Once you click on the link, please just you see it there. All right. Upload your initial and full payment. A lot of people have been sending. A lot of people have been sending messages. So please secure your position, please, guys. I don't want people to start saying, oh, if you may now, something, a lot of excuses might come in, all right, but we're very strict with those first 20 people to register. And that's the reason why we're doing the early bird discount. So once you made payment, upload your receipts here, okay? So Tunde, please just do that. I really appreciate you to do that. Okay, guys. Don't worry, you see, I'm gonna show you something. I'm still gonna show you something after I show you this data science. So for data science, you have the live classes. You have the first the introduction live class to introduce you to the platform, introduce you to everything about the class and so on. All right. Then you see you get the watch me do it video. Now the beautiful thing about this is all those concepts that you find difficult to understand in statistics would be broken down like like pieces of when you break a glass and it sheds. All right. So you see one of the class comments. I'm not looking at it. Thanks a lot for the video. The teachings were simplified, making them straightforward and easy to comprehend. So thank you for your explanation. I enjoyed watching it. I would like to know if it's possible to have the slide presentation used during the video that was provided. Thank you. The lectures were inspiring. So you see, these are the things you get to understand. Introduction, stages of learning data science, what is data. So as a data scientist, before you even jump into understanding data science, you need to understand what is data. Do you understand? How does data play in the data science scape? All right. So those are the introductory topics that you get to understand. So you see, we talk about understanding data, the big data, the 5 V's of data, types of analytics, some basic history. All right. Thereafter, you move into, all right. Thereafter, you move into this. Okay. So you see another one. Thank you very much for the watch me do videos of categorical data visualization. Now, the way you visualize categorical data, that we talked about categorical data today, the way you visualize categorical is different from the way you visualize numerical data. So you see here, categorical visualization. Here you have numerical visualization. And over here, you have extra videos on Excel, extra just for you to brush up your skills in Excel. So you have all these videos, and they are very short videos, very, very short. They are not long. Let's take a look at summary tables. Summary table, for example, is just 16 minutes. Okay. All right. Something you watch it in 16 minutes and you're done. Frequency table, how many minutes? It's just roughly under, this is about 21 minutes. So you see, remove duplicate, for example, how to remove duplicates in your data. This is just about 1 minute. So when you combine everything together, 2 hours, 3 hours, you're done with the videos. So it's just to provide you with a base. So the moment you finish with that base, the moment you finish with the watch me do it video, you move into you have a small assignment that you have to submit. So once you submit that, you have the first life, your second life class, which is dashboarding. So you see the case study. Let me show you the case study, okay? Class material. So you have the case study. So you see this Alpha Deco. Alpha Deco is the leading sporting goods. And like I said, majority of our case studies are based off real life projects, real life, activities, real life projects that has happened in real. All right. And we tailor it to our students' learning experience. So you see this, you have been contracted as a data scientist consult. This is literally your first live class. Okay. So you've watched Watch Me Do It videos, you understand certain concepts, you understand how to visualize categorical, numerical, you know what is data science, you know how to use Excel, basic Excel functions and advanced functions. Now, how do you not use it in the case scenario like this, where you have been contracted, you'll be contacted as a data scientist consultant to provide an in-depth analysis of what happened in Alpha Deco and provide answers to the following questions. So you see, these are the things that you get to work on. All right. So Once you finish that, you see the live classes, people start pushing their reports, their dashboard, you have like a project submission, and so on and so forth. So you see, with two, you have another set of videos you get to work, descriptive statistics, you get to work with measure of central tendency, missing values, range, how to deal with missing values, interquartile range, variance, skewness, limit, central limit theorem, so on and so forth. So you get all these statistical concepts, you get to work with it and see it firsthand how it is being applied. Thereafter, you now get another word, you get another statistic class one, and let's take a look at the case study for that. Class workbook. Else, this is sorry, that's a material class one. So this is a case study. All right, so take a look at the case study. Another case study. This is based off statistics. Okay. So problem overview. HealthQuest has hired you as a data professional. Okay. HealthQuest wants you to provide valuable insight into the company's workforce and help identify areas of improvement. They need a better understanding of the employee demographics and descriptive statistics. So this is you now using this data of this business to come up with insights using statistics based on what you've learned in the previous week. All right, using interquartile range, skewness, central limit theorem, so on and so forth. How would you be able to use statistics to tell a story about an actual business? So that's the live class. It's not going to be you working on that by yourself. So you have the recording, and this is the recording. You can see Brahma, experience, diligence. I really want her to be on the call with me. Brahma, let them see your face so they see the professional that we have in the house that is going to be taking them on. That would also be working with them internally. All right. So you see, these are the classes for data science. Now, a key question that most people would ask is remote opportunity. What's my IG? My IG is if a man. I just search if on IG, you see me there. All right. So now the next thing is remote opportunities. All right, remote. I'm going to just show you two sites. Okay, two sites, and I'll call it a day. I'll call it a day after that. I think two sites is enough for you guys. So I'm going to show you Glassdoor first of all. Glassdoor. So I'm looking for if you're looking for remote opportunities, you're in Nigeria, you want to work for a company in the US, or you're currently on a student visa in the UK and you have limitations, all right? How do you get remote opportunity? If you're in the UK, you have 20 hours limitation. You could actually get a job in the US that pays you full time and you work full time for the organization. There's no limitations to that. All right. So now, how do you get those opportunities? I'm going to click on job, for example. I'm going to start with data analyst and I'm going to move to data scientist. And you see they're almost the base. All right. So let me start with data analyst. And bear in mind, it's not just a data analyst position you can apply for if you go through a data analytics training program. You can apply for sales analyst, product analyst, marketing analyst. You can work for supply chain, logistics. There are quite a number of jobs, but I'm just going to go with data analyst, just the conventional name of the role itself. And I'm going to go with United States of America, United States. Okay. And I'm going to apply. You see, so these are all data analyst roles currently in the US based on Glassdoor. But now these are not remote opportunities. Some of them are not remote, some of them are hybrid, some of them. But now I want to specify that I only want remote opportunities in the US. Now I'm going to click on, you see this more? You see more here? Click on more. Now you see work from home only. All right. I'm going to turn it on. Okay. Turn it on. And when that is on, this will give me only remote opportunities. So you can see operation strategic data analyst. All right. And you could also, most times I don't want things that are too far in the future. So you can see the last 2 weeks, last week, last 3 days, last day. So just during the last day, 76 job posts has come out in the last day. And this is just data analyst. So you could also, most times I'll go for like a week, first of all, then I'll move to 2 weeks. Or I can start from 2 weeks and move backwards or move forward, I mean. So let's say last 2 weeks, which is about how many jobs? 694 roles currently. And you see all of them remote roles. Okay, clinical data analyst, business analyst, um, senior reporting analyst, entry level data analyst, HR human resource and data analyst. So there are quite a number. I see the job salary, the salary range, $62,000 to $96,000. So this is just one of the places you could actually get a role. So if you are also looking for majorly startup roles, I would advise you to go to built-in. So built-in is remote, is remote. All right. So I'm gonna go to remote. So you see explore remote tech jobs, explore remote tech jobs. All right. So now I'm gonna look for data analyst or data scientist, anyone really. It doesn't matter. But it's just you could choose anywhere in the US you want to apply for a job. And once you have that, press enter. Okay. And you see, all these are all fully remote roles. These are all remote roles. You see the salary, you see the years of experience they're looking for, 16 hours. Okay, this particular organization is really looking for a financial data analyst for 16 hours. Or just posted about 16 hours ago. All right. This is a data analyst, web analytics. This is also a data analyst, but it's web analytics. Posted 17 hours ago. Now, salary annually, 133 to $185,000. Technical data analyst, and these are all remote opportunities. Now, if you go through the training program, you will be able to apply for this. This is a data analyst part-time, all right? So if you're even in school, and it's still between 65 to $105,000 per annum, all right, annually. So you see quite a number of roles exist 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, so on and so forth. So these are opportunities that exist for you in data science, data, and the same thing with data science also. Scientist. Same thing with data scientist, 13 hours ago. This is a contract remote role, product analyst. Contract roles usually pay a bit more, and you see that why you don't have a salary in there. All right. Don't worry. 3 to 5 years is based on what they are looking for, and those things can be I won't say manipulated, but you can, from your prior experience, you can fix in how you can rejig your previous experience to incorporate data science activities, all right, regardless of anywhere you work. So if you're working as a customer service representative, for example, you could also incorporate data science into customer service to say that, oh, as a customer service representative, in order for you to know how many calls you receive the next, in order for you to know the number of calls you'll be receiving the next day, in order for you to plan better, you were able to build a predictive model in Microsoft Excel. In order for you to do that, you did it in Python. You did forecasting in Python to be able to forecast, how many calls will be coming in a week, in a month, in order for you to know how many staff you need to bring in. So there are so many ways you can rejig your prior experience to incorporate data science activities or data analytics experience, even if you're working as a carpenter. You understand? You could also you could also rejig that. Oh, you're working as a data analyst with Adekunle and Co, furniture and fittings. Okay. So with the Adekunle, you did an analysis, customer analytics to find out that, customers want their chairs to be able to, to move by itself. Okay. I'm just coming off my head. You want your chairs to be able to move by itself. So you did the analysis. So, and you noticed that, sales was dipping, there was a drop in sales. So based on the fact that you have data analytics experience, you're able to do analysis, you gather surveys from customers, and you figure out that customers are looking for a particular design of a chair. And immediately you implemented that particular recommendation, month on month, sales improved by 7%. You're working as a carpenter, you never did any form of analytics. Do you understand? Or you've incorporated analytics into your previous experience, and that would serve as your years of experience. Do you understand? So, Vivian, those are the ways you can work around it. As long as you know what you're doing, you could always you can always claim your work experience. Do you understand? So you can say this is Dreambox Learning, this is Cash App, looking for an applied data scientist 16 hours ago, 142 to $204,000, per annum. So you see data science, and these are just some of them. You could go to Well Found. Well Found is another very good place for you to get remote opportunity. So just go to Well Found. I'm going to look or find your next job. And you see over 130,000 remote and local startups. So regardless of anywhere you are, don't say there are no jobs in Nigeria. You looking for a job in Nigeria or in Ghana within your local environment means that you don't have the skills to compete globally. Now, the reasons why the skills is called, tech is called global tech, okay, the global tech skills is because someone in Nigeria can be working for a firm in Germany. Someone in Ghana can be working for a firm in the US. Someone in Sierra Leone, in Tanzania, in Kenya can be working for another company in another entire planet, in Australia, for example. So these are the places that you can actually, some of the places, anyways, there are a ton of them. And like I said, we have the navigating the job market session that is designed to show you places you can apply for these jobs. These are just the tip of the iceberg that I know that you can get if you go on Google and search. You should be able to see all this. So you see, the ones that we have internal that we use for our people is ones you won't get online, and that's where we get our own experience from, and that's what we offer as an additional service if you join the training program. So navigating the job market is what you see here, and that's what we do for you. We show you how to navigate the job market, to explore job opportunities. So the idea for us, like I mentioned, is not for you to just learn data analytics and data science, and that's the end of it. The idea for us is to get you a job, all right, to work with you. And that's why we have so much on employability, all right? Mentorship session, coaching and mentoring, what do you call it, CV review, internship preparation, navigating the job market. We place so much on the mentorship aspect because the idea from us is not for you to just learn data analytics and we say we've trained a data analyst. No. The key statistics for us is for you to get a job as a data analyst, as a data scientist, and get you started. All right. Um, so if you're looking for somebody's asking for, okay, so please get started, years of experience. Don't worry, Benjamin. You could if you go through if you have anybody that has gone through a training program, just speak to them and you see any one of them will tell you that your experience is relative. Okay. So coming from where I was coming from, management consulting, I did a couple of things with analytics, all right, but it wasn't vast experience. It wasn't like really, really technical. All right. But how was I able to move from being a marketing consultant to the tech space? And that's, I never had any prior experience. Okay, even though I did, like I said, I did a bit of things in management consulting. But how did I do that? It was basically to rejig my CV. And that's where we have help you to work on your CV. So you don't have any experience. Oh, you're coming from banking. Oh, you're coming from entrepreneurship. You've never worked in the office before. How do you tailor your CV? And let me show you some experience. Let me show you some testimonials. Maybe that's what would, you know, so we're featured in the news, Nairametrics, Business Day, Vanguard. Like I said, this slide is going to be sent to you. You get to see it. All right, we're featured on Tech Cabal. We're featured, several places across the world. And you can always click the link in the slides in order for you to read more about what we've done, globally and locally in Nigeria. So you can see it will be got a job with the data scientist as a data scientist with the NHS in the UK. And guess what? See what she wrote here. My new role is data scientist. You can see it here. Okay, it's not manipulated or anything. My new role is data scientist. First proper job in the UK after analytics training. So these are some of the people that have gone through the training program and are doing well for themselves at the moment. All right. Ubong also, got multiple data offers, within just about 2 months upon completing the training program. Those are the things that we get for you. Idris Adebisi, same thing, going through the data science training program and actually got a job in data engineering as a data engineer with what? With Jaguar Land Rover. All right. So you have people getting jobs, remotely. So Abdurrashid currently works as a data scientist with Child 420, but he works in the US. He works for a company in the US, but resides in Nigeria. So these are part of the people that have gone through the training program and are currently working remotely and doing the things. So we have quite a number of feedbacks, testimonials that you could go to our social media platform. It's just Analytics, all right? And you get to hear about, what the wonderful things people are saying about Analytics. Okay, I'm just going to go to Instagram quickly. And you can check us out on Instagram, yeah? Analytics, you'll see a ton of testimonials, ton and ton and ton of testimonials on our page, okay? You see, just go to either our YouTube channel or our Instagram channel, you will see a ton of reviews, ton of testimonials from people who have gone through our training program. So it's something that is tested, trusted, and that's what we use to get people started in the country. So somebody's asking how to pay in Cameroon. You could use Paystack or you could use PayPal to make payments. So once you click on the link, the main stack link is going to take you to analytics enrollment. Okay. And you see there, you can see you can make payment either you could pay obviously non-Naira payments, you can pay PayPal. All right. You can use PayPal to make payments. All right. And also you could do a direct transfer if that works for you. But you could also use PayPal. You could use Paystack also. All right. You could use PayPal, use your as long as you're using a MasterCard. So Dami, please just send upload it, don't send it on the chat. It's not send it on the send upload it. So click on the main stack link, Danny. Click on the main stack link, okay, and register your and just click on this. You see, upload your initial and full receipt here. That's what you need to do. All right. Danny, just do that, okay? Quite a number of people have made payment, and that's why I tell you, please don't hesitate. This program is going to take you 0 to 1,000, in the next couple of weeks once you start. The training program started on the 7th of October, and we'll take it off from there. So do you know what? The next 10 minutes, I'm going to open the ground for you to ask your questions. So if you have a question, raise up your hand, and I will be taking questions before we call it a day. All right. All right. Samsung E7. Let me take you some Samsung. All right. So you can unmute yourself. Samsung SMX080. Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
thank you. Good, sorry, just a minute.
I think you're using two devices here.
Yes, it's actually Babatunde. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I can hear you well. I think it's better now.
Okay. So I wanted to ask for those of us that might not be available for both morning and evening, for those in the UK, evening classes by 4, we can have access to the
Morning session.
recorded videos, right?
So if you're not going to be available for what time, sorry?
The 4 to 7.
You could take you're not available for morning and evening. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because we might be at job or work and stuff.
Okay, depending on the timing, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes, you will definitely have access to recording. So once you register, you are
Yeah.
added to the Google Classroom and you
Yeah.
get the recording of every session that
Okay.
happens. And
Okay.
good
Thank you
thing
very much.
also is we run a very open communication. So you see on the Google Classroom, you could send messages on the Google Classroom. So
All
if
right.
you go to the Google Classroom, you could send messages, you could leave message, you'll see some people drop messages. So let's say this, I'm just looking for a place where you could actually where I can see. So view material, so you could leave comments. All right. So if you have
All
issues,
right.
you can leave a comment here. We also have WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly show you the WhatsApp group so you see exactly what how it looks like. So you see that. So you can always send a message. You have a personal. You have somebody that is gonna go through it with you. All right, just give me a second. All right. But anyways, sorry, my WhatsApp is taking. I actually don't want to share the entire screen, so it doesn't share privacy information. All right, but essentially we have a WhatsApp group where you are in. You have a coordinator. You have a coordinator. You have a facilitator. You have quite a number of uh, community around you. So you're not never alone. All right. You never, as long as you can ask your questions, don't suffer in silence and say that, oh, you're trying to figure it out yourself. If you try and it doesn't work, you can only send a message and everybody, either the facilitator comments or somebody that has faced that same issue and saw a way to resolve it would provide solution. So it's a community that we use. All right. So I hope that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. So thanks, Samsung. All right. Any other person have any question? Can you share the number on the call? I'm not sure. I'm not seeing any question in the chat also. For someone who doesn't have prior knowledge of Excel, what course would you advise the person to take? Either of the two of them, say either data science or data engineer or data science or data analytics. It really doesn't matter. All right. So because each program is going to assume you're a beginner, even if you have prior experience. And one thing we've learned over time is people think they have experience. Okay. A lot of people think, oh, I'm using Excel in my office. Excel for analytics is an entire ball, it's a different ball game entirely. So you see, that's what we have, even for the Excel classes, you see the first video, the first what video you get, you have um extra videos for Excel. So you have cell referencing, if function, even if and or, and some if count, if VLOOKUP and index match and other Excel functions. So you see, don't worry, you're going to be fine. See, either you take data analytics or you take data science. The key thing is for your own personal interest, not necessarily the tool. But what would you like to do? Do you want to do just more reporting, dashboarding, and so on and so forth, or would you want to do a bit more than dashboarding and reporting, where you start to do a little bit of predictive analytics, machine learning, and all that? That's what you need to consider, not necessarily Excel as a tool. Or what would you like to do? What would you like to become? What resonates more with you? Predictions, or just building a regular dashboard, not building a dashboard, doing your reporting, so on and so forth. All right. So yes. All right. So yes. So I think Brahma has answered Danny's question. So let me see. If you have any, okay, Glory, let me take you. Glory Wellness Originative. Go ahead, Glory.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, Glory.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure. Thank God I didn't miss the class. And thanks for all you do, sir.
Amazing. Happy to hear that. Absolutely.
Yes, I just wanted to know, is there do we have those 10 analysis have affiliation with either Microsoft or Google for certification and all that?
So we have our own certificates that we issue to our participants. All right.
Okay.
But with our own person, like I said, we are in the industry. Currently, I did a recruitment for one of the tech startups here in the UK. All right. That was just under a month ago. We recruited for both data and we recruited data analysts, data scientists, and data engineers. And guess what? None of the technical recruiters or none of the team leads, none of us were looking for anything certification. What were we looking for? Can you guess what we're looking for? Glory. We're looking for people that have
Skills.
skill, exactly, not certification. All right. So people that have a skill and have used it in one way or the other, either on a project, self-paced project, or working on an open source project, whatever it is. I just want to know that you've used this before. Oh, you say you know how to use Python, and you tell me where you've used Python. And that's why you see our programs are based on projects, real life projects. Because essentially, when a recruiter reaches out to you, "Oh, I can see on your CV you have Excel on your CV. It means you've worked with Excel on what preview. Oh, yes, I've handled projects in supply chain. I've handled some projects in, logistics, in healthcare, in this, in that. You can mention all the projects you did during the training process. So, oh, can you tell me more? Can you expatiate more on the one on supply chain? Okay, fantastic. This particular project was based off one of the biggest organizations. You see all our projects, and that's the beauty of what you get to work on. All our projects are designed in a way that you would be able to tell the industry, you'll be able to tell the business. All right. So let me just look for one case study. All right. Let me just go to a class that has extended. This was in July. So you say this is a bit more extensive because they're currently doing their capstone project. So let me just go to one of the projects they did. Let me say Tableau project. Okay. Where's the Tableau project? Live class. So presentation case study. So this is the Netflix dashboard. So this is for Netflix, doing the Netflix, and we're doing visualization, analyzing the best show, and so on and so forth. So let me look for another case study that is more Power BI live class. All right. So we get employee attrition case study. So let's take a look at this material, class material, and this is the case study itself. All right, we get employee attrition and performance. So this is more HR based. All right, so you see the task, analyze the data set to find out the factors influencing employee attrition in the company. So now this is an actual business case. So you could say, oh, the person is asking you, oh, I can see you have Power BI in your CV. All right, can you tell me more about how you've used Power BI? Oh, yes, I worked with this organization. I worked with Analytics, and as a consulting company, we worked with WeCare, which is one of the largest organization, servicing thousands of patients across the local region. All right, with thousands of employees working different departments across the UK, US, blah blah blah. You find a way to manipulate it. All right. So, and they were suffering with what we call employee attrition. As a data analyst in that project, I was tasked with, finding out why employees were leaving the organization. All right. So, and I needed to find out if there was a relationship between attrition and monthly income or monthly rates. So, using Power BI, I was able to deduce this, that. So you have gained experience working on this project using Power BI to prefer a solution or a recommendation to this particular business. So these are the things that you get to work on, from Power BI to Excel to that Tableau to SQL to all the things that you need to work on. All right. So the same thing with data science also. All right. Same thing with data science. You get to work on very detailed projects. Let's take a look at the EDA. All right. EDA life class is a life class. I'm going to look at one of the exploratory data analysis, and I'm going to say introduction to the case study, just for you to see exactly what you're going to be doing with the case itself. So you see, all right. So Dune is a reputable global retailer. So this is more logistics and product analytics. So Dune is a reputable global retailer offering diverse selection of products, including accessory, clothing, and phones, with a growing presence of 14 countries, with a team of 70,000 employees. So basically, what are you trying to do? As the newly appointed data scientist, your first task is to analyze the company's sales data with the previous year and provide actionable insights and recommendations. This analysis will help identify areas of improved opportunity and inform future business decisions aimed at improving performance and increasing profitability. So you're going to be working on real life case studies. So if somebody tells you, oh, if a recruiter is asking you, oh, you have used Python, what projects have you worked on? Oh yes, I worked on the sales analysis, or I worked on the product, product performance project, working with one of the largest reputable global retailer across the world. Currently have over 70 employees, blah blah blah. You work on that particular project. You're going to self-paced, like I said. This particular part of the project is a watch me do it video. So you see everything is detailed. EDA, dealing with missing values, data analysis, univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis, and all the things that you need to understand. So it's detailed. So the skills that really matters, Glory. All right, not certification. Don't change. I'm telling you for free. Okay. No recruiter is gonna ask you for. I'm gonna go to 1,001 jobs. All right. And I'm just gonna do that real quick. And you see that none of them will put in certification. So I'm just gonna put it, even the data analyst that you mentioned. So I'm just gonna put data analyst just so that you see that it's not a lie. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to all the job rights. You see, what are we looking for? About this role, this is a great opportunity for a data analyst, part of the information. You will be forefront of the data initiative. Your expertise will be crucial in designing, maintaining. There's nothing like certification here. All right. Next, let's look for another one. This is 30 to 35. All right. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Proven knowledge in power as a data analyst or the business data analyst. Experience in financial or manufacturing, knowledge and experience with SQL database, Power BI, adept at queries, reporting, writing, and presenting findings. So that's the data storytelling that I told you about. And equivalence, all this stuff is just fabu. Do you understand? So you see, it's more of your experience or more of the things that you can do that really matters, not your certification. You will go through 1,001. So you see some of them that offer, some of them offer very good packages, and you see quite a number of roles exist also, even if you're in the UK. Quite a number of roles exist currently. All right. Let me take two more questions and call it a day. Patrick, quickly, please.
Hello, hi.
Yes, Patrick.
Okay. Thank you for the amazing presentation. I just wanted to understand now. Could you be having corporate packages whereby I can maybe onboard my team?
Okay. A team of how many people? We do organizational training, virtual
Yes.
organization, and we do physical also, depending on your location and all that. So we do virtual, and we've done for quite a number of organizations, home and abroad. Okay, so we concluded one with one of the firms here in the UK just about 2 months ago. Okay, so I will currently be doing quite a number of organizations. So yes, we can make arrangements for that, for organizational team, training programs. Yeah.
So do you have different packages for that, or is it the same?
No, it's tailored. So I don't know how, so duration matters a lot. All right. So we can always work something out. Do you understand? So you can send me a message. Are you on the WhatsApp group chat? So
Yes.
all right, if you're on the WhatsApp group chat, send a message to any of the admin on the WhatsApp group chat. So you see the admins. So request that you would like to speak to Ifemena, okay? And we can talk about that. Is that okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate that. Vivian is saying our class is power packed. Absolutely, 100%. We don't joke with our training program, yeah? Oluwasegun Johnson, go ahead, please. And I think that's the last question I'm going to take. Then we can call it a day. Oluwasegun Johnson.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yes, boss. Good evening.
Yeah, please. I need you to add me to the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Yes, we're going to drop the link now. Brahima, please, if you can get the link for the WhatsApp
Yeah,
group for Shegun Johnson to join the group.
it's
That'll
okay.
be great.
Can I send the evidence of payment to the WhatsApp? I've already paid payment.
Please upload. Please upload. Please upload. So once you click on the main stack link, all right, click on the main stack link, you would see upload link. So Brahima has sent it to the Zoom chat. Okay. So
Okay.
Brahima sent it to the group, or you better, if you don't understand how to work it out, send a message. If you're on the once you get to the WhatsApp group, okay, send a message to any of the group admin. So the person has to be admin. You must see the admin on the person's name and send the person a message. All right. Okay, yes. So so if you've paid, we take maximum 24 hours, all right, for us to confirm payment. You get the welcome kit. So if you look at the Google Classroom, all right, you get access to the Google Classroom, you get access to everything. The moment you made payment, you get access to the Google Classroom. Just the same way you see, let me just go to the part of the class so you understand it better. So you see, welcome to Analytics. So this is the welcome message. Congratulations. The welcome kit. This is what you will get once we confirm your payment. Okay. That's a red flag right there. So Batman, could you private message me your full name? I can only see Batman as your name, so I'm not sure about what your full name is. All right, so well, you should have gotten your welcome kit unless there's an issue with your payment and they should have gotten back to you anyways. Apologies for that. Emanuela, 100%, as long as you're a member of the class, we can talk. Do you understand? Emanuela, you can send me a private message. You could be on the WhatsApp, request for my number, and we can have a conversation. Is that okay? All right. So Batman, please private message me I received an email the next day confirming my payments. Please check your spam email also. You might have issue. Sometimes these things drop in a spam email. So please check your spam email, okay? And so Emanuela, just join the WhatsApp group and ask any of the admin, okay? So we can just ask any of the admin on the WhatsApp group. It's difficult for me to type as I'm going through this, okay? So if you're on Emanuela, are you on the WhatsApp group? please just join the WhatsApp group and ask any of the admin, okay? Just request from any admin of the admin and we'll be good to go. So Shagun, please upload on the link, okay? All right, no problem. Spam is empty. Okay, don't worry. Okay, do you know what? Just give me a second. Let me confirm. Brian, do you want let me just quickly run that? That's a very so just 2 7. Just give me a second. Sorry. This is all right. So let's come. Give me Batman. Could you just send me your name and Leonard? I think I'll just take Leonard's name down and just confirm. So there might have been a slight issue with your name itself. Let me see. Ikele. Ikele, man, please check your spam also. You know, sometimes people make mistakes with that. And Batman, Sheyi, what's your full name? Quite a number of people are Sheyi. All right. What's the full name, please? All right. Olufadeju. Olufadeju. Sheyi. Okay, all right. I'll follow up with that. So I'm on the WhatsApp group. Just any of the admins, send them a message, tell them about it. Just ask for Shimena. My name is on LinkedIn. You can check me out on LinkedIn. In fact, the first page is where you get to see everything about me. Do you understand? So it's not a joke. We don't take we everything we do here is very serious. Do you understand? So I'm just gonna share that same page where you can see all my profile on the platform so you know how to chase me. All right. So this is me. I am on LinkedIn. I'm on WhatsApp. I said leave the WhatsApp. All right. So this is it here. On LinkedIn, I am Ifemena. On Twitter, I am Ifemena underscore IK. And on Twitter, I am Ife. So it is HAYFAY1. So that's just my name. All right. So anyways, I'm going to Brahma, you're sending me directly. You're not sending it to everyone. So I guess that's what the issue is. Yeah. So Olusha, you just click the link to join the WhatsApp group. So please, guys, if I don't know why, if you just made payment, it's not going to be immediately. You're going to get confirmation. Please, guys. All right. It takes 24 hours for us to confirm. All right. So if you paid into what any account, any of the account, either you made a transfer or you paid via PayPal or you paid via what do you call it, Paystack, we need to confirm payments. Then we send you the welcome kit. For the guys that are saying that they've not gotten the welcome kit, I will need to confirm. I'll find out the issues why. Because majority everybody else made payment in the last couple of days have gotten a welcome kit. So I will need to confirm the reasons why you guys have not gotten yours. So I've gotten down your names and I'll revert back. I'll revert to you. You would likely get an email from somebody this evening. All right. So apologies for that if there's a mix up somewhere. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And this is where we're going to be calling it today. So let me just say this again. Like I mentioned during the session, today we talked about using Python in Excel. That's what we talked about today. Last month, there was nothing like this. Like literally last month, which is just roughly about 3 weeks ago, or maybe last month, which let's say ridiculously 1 month ago, there was no product around Python in Excel. Okay. And now today, it's part of our curriculum, it's part of what we'll be handling using Python inside Excel. So one thing you should know at the back of your mind is the space is growing rapidly. All right. I'm happy I started 10 years ago. Okay, about 10 years ago. All right, learning by myself, trying to figure out everything, by myself. And I was able to learn. It was difficult. It took me almost 2 years to get my first role in data. Okay, do you understand? But it shouldn't be the same for you. It shouldn't take you 2 years. All right. Everybody says that, oh, it's hard, it's difficult. No, it shouldn't take you that long to get started. Now, another thing you should put in mind is the market is increasing. The number of tools, the number of technologies, the number of things that you need to learn is increasing. The requirement in the next couple of years is going to be increasing. And now, one thing you need to do is position yourself. Now, I have positioned myself right from the start. Now, I am taking more strategic position because of the wealth of experience I've built over the years, jumping from one organization to the other. I said jumping for intentionally because job hopping is what gives you a very good, not just a good pay, very wide experience, very, very wide experience. Worked in supply chain, logistics. I've worked in medical technology, gaming, to health, to so on and so forth, working on different projects. So one thing you need to talk about yourself is positioning. You need to position yourself. Where will you be in the next 2 years? Where will you be before the end of next year? Do you understand? And that's how do you get better for next year is by positioning yourself this year. And one of the greatest thing you do for yourself is self-development. A lot of people will think about investing in other, properties, in cryptocurrencies, in forex, and so on and so forth. But guess what? Developing yourself, develop yourself. Your earning capacity can actually 5x in the next couple of months. Imagine if you're earning 250,000 naira currently in Nigeria, or you're 100,000 naira and you get a job. There's a guy that got a job, a personal friend of mine, okay, went to same university, all right? As at the time he took the training program with us, it was on 150,000 naira. 150,000 naira. Today, this guy works with a fintech company, one of the fintech companies brands in Nigeria, okay? And guess what the salary is? He learned last year, okay? On 150,000 naira. This guy is currently on 900,000 naira. 900,000 naira. I wish I would screenshot his message and send it to the group or just share it, but I don't want, okay, so much time. It's currently on 900. He currently received another offer from First Bank. I mentioned the names of this organization because it's easy for me because, you don't know the person. He received another offer from First Bank just a couple of weeks ago. That's what the salary take home every month was high of almost 1 million naira. So it's currently on gross of 900. So take home every month on that 900 is about 800 plus. But this current salary is about 1 million naira. So that's 900 plus, 900, almost a million naira. For someone that was earning 150,000 naira last year. So those are the kind of positioning I'm talking about. You might feel like it is a lie. It doesn't happen. How many times? But trust it, if it happens for one person, it has not happened for just one person. It's happened for a multitude of persons in Nigeria, people in the UK. I can list, you can see some of the testimonies I shared. Some of them had not even worked in a while, doing menial jobs, and they're getting jobs in top organizations like the NHS, Cognizant, and so on and so forth. Fraser's Group, Post Office, so on, so many organizations. So what you need to talk about yourself is sit down and think and say that where you are currently, the trajectory where you are, where you're going at the moment, is it going to take me to where I want to be in the next couple of years? If your answer is not a resounding yes, then you need to figure out what you need to. Is either you learn a new skill, upskill yourself, and remain competitive in the global job market. So please, guys, the training program starts on the 7th of September, and I would really want you guys to join, all right, to see how we can work together. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful night. For the guys that I wanted to hear from me, I will definitely get back to you. I'm happy to let you know I've confirmed my payment and excited to have joined the analytics program. Thank the Lord, Leonard. Absolutely. If you had a great time today, I want you to say, yeah, yeah, or mute yourself. You're free to mute yourself now. I want you to say, yeah, yeah, if you had a wonderful time this evening.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Bro,
All right, my guys.
thumbs up,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, guys. Thank you very
Awesome,
much.
awesome, awesome,
Thank you
bro.
very much.
You're great.
I really appreciate you guys for
Please
taking out
check your
time.
You're
inbox. I
amazing.
sent you a message, please.
Up
Very
Delta.
much.
You're great.
All
Up
right.
Delta,
Bye,
bro.
everyone.
If
Yes.
please check your inbox. I sent you a message.